It's time for the Ghostfire Media Network podcast show, featuring the stars of iRacing's IVRL and the AOLL. Now, here's your host, the Ghostfire Media Network crew. Hey, what's happening? Good evening and welcome to the Ghostfire Media Podcast. It's Randy Pepper alongside my good friends Carl Henderson and Adam Wood.
Oh, man.
Love it.
So, how's your day going, Randy?
My day is going wonderful, man. We just got back. We went to, do you guys have Burntwood Taverns where you're at?
Never heard of it.
Nope.
I know they have them up in North Carolina and a couple other places.
Never heard of it there either.
Yeah, they had one in Charlotte. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere up there in Charlotte. I ate at one. Went there for dinner, really good, and then went by. Do you guys have Jeremiah's?
Never heard of it.
I don't know what that is either.
Wow, we have stuff that people up north do not have. Jeremiah's is a really cool little ice cream place that they're all over Florida and Georgia. So went there and had a good meal with my wife, and I said, honey, we got to go. I got to be on the air at 7:45.
You were a very important person. You have to get home to get on the podcast.
Yeah. I got to get home podcast. That's right. I got stuff to do. So, Adam, how's your day going?
It's good. I finished up a 2-week course. I've been at the house for the last 2 weeks trying to get this new certification underneath my belt. Got a test coming up this Thursday, so hopefully I'll get it whenever I get out. It's extra 20 grand in my pocket right there.
What certification's that?
CISSP.
Oh.
What is that? What is that?
So it's a combination, basically a manager level within cybersecurity area. So you're becoming basically the manager instead of a worker bee.
It's a nerd cert.
Yes, it's a very much of a nerd cert, but it's worth a lot of money.
I wish I could do something that's worth a lot of money, but no, I don't. Carl, and how was your day?
Uneventful, which was pretty nice. I got off work at noon, as I do on Fridays. I believe through the end of next month, and hoping they're going to extend it again. But we do half-day Fridays at my job, and I played on my Switch for half the damn day. So not very productive, but it was nice.
Played on your Switch. Now,
Nintendo
like
Switch.
a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
Like the little game?
Yeah, I was playing.
What the heck? It's about this big, isn't it?
Well, you can hook it up to your TV too. So,
okay. I had one that I used to hook up, play on an airplane and stuff.
Yeah, I like it because I can put something on TV or something and still, kind of have it on the background, half watching it and play a game too. It's kind of nice.
What do you play?
Well, I was playing Diablo 2 today, which was re-released yesterday, I think. So it's a 20-year-old game that got remastered and re-released, and been playing that.
Well, I
Cool.
never played that one. I played Diablo 3 like crazy for many years and off and on. So it's kind of
I'm familiar with the game, but I've never played it.
I played the hell out of 2 and then moved on to 3, and now I'm back on 2. So
I must be the only non-gamer. I mean, I actually, back in the golden age of gaming, which would be the arcades, I actually owned an arcade back in the 80s.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had full-size games. I actually had full-size games in my house.
Hey,
It was bizarre.
Hey, Randy, I just wanted to let you know Justin posted and said, he's young yet, Randy. Carl can still see smaller screens that the older of us can.
Yeah, it's true.
I've been a gamer and a nerd my whole entire life, and I'll continue to be on it. My wife, she has her certain games on the Nintendo Wii U. She played Splatoon forever. So
Splatoon, what is that?
So instead of using guns to fight, they use paint. So they have either like a gun or paintbrush, and they run around and try to paint an area, and then you kill your opponent. So whoever gets the most paint laid down on the ground during that round wins the round. And my wife played the crap out of it.
I did.
I did
had
too.
to. I used to do the Wii quite a bit. But I never did that. I played Wipeout a lot and the bowling and all the boring stuff.
The bare necessities, the stuff you start
Yeah.
off with.
Also,
Wipeout I had to buy, and Carnival games I had to buy.
Also, that's a new T-shirt idea. I used to do the Wii quite a bit, so I'm gonna plaster that one on a shirt with your face on it.
All right.
I used to do it a lot of time back then, old days.
All right.
So, all right. So we got some good stuff going tonight. Let's get into some racing here, as we got a guest waiting in the waiting room, right?
Yes, we do.
And who is that, Adam? Let's introduce our guest tonight and talk about.
So tonight, we're gonna start off with fuel. We're gonna go with Shane Theron. He's coming in. He's had a lot of great runs. He missed last week's race, so we didn't have one this week. But he missed last week's. Hasn't been feeling up too good. We've been trying to get him on the podcast for a while now. He's feeling up to it, so I'm gonna bring him in. Hey Shane,
His mic is he's muted.
Yeah, there he goes. Hey, it's Adam, Randy, and Carl. I got so many people in the booth that's different every week, and Carl's hardly ever in a booth with me at the same time.
Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
Great. Good. We're doing real good on a Friday night. What else could we be doing? It's Friday.
Yeah, that's true.
Hanging out at a bar with a bunch of bitches.
There goes the rating. Right off the bat. Oh man. All right, hey man. Welcome to the podcast here. So what we like to do is bring on drivers from all the different leagues that we broadcast for, and we like to go through and have them announce who they are, what do they do for a living, what do you like to do outside of simulation racing, and then go into your both either if you have any outside racing experience, or if not, just tell us about your sim racing experience days.
I got no outside racing experience. I actually started sim racing because I joined the Navy 8 years ago, and
in the
didn't have-
Navy.
yeah,
He's a seaman.
yeah. And all I had was a laptop at the time, so I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually still to this day race on a controller on iRacing.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's come to
He's
surprise to a
lethal
lot of
on a
people.
controller.
I know. I've seen him race. It's like, are you kidding me? This guy's running with a controller.
I tried it.
Yep.
So I tried it back in when I went on vacation in North Carolina back in middle of the summer. I was like, I need points still. My laptop can run it. Let me see if my Xbox controller will work. Nope. I was like, no.
Hey, here's something fun on that. In the Fuel League so far, with his controller, his average finish is 21 spots better than me. So that's pretty good with a controller.
He qualified first a couple of weeks ago as well. He was on the pole, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, I think I have 2 polls actually.
Yeah. So wow. And I'll tell you this, Shane. You actually were part of our trivia questions. I think 2 weeks ago or last week. I can't remember when it was.
Paint contest.
The paint contest. So you were part of the one of the trivia questions we used 2 weeks ago. So
That's
we're doing we're do you know your sponsors on the cars? Since we call these races all the time, and I brought up your car, and nobody knew it.
I remember the colors and the schemes. I just don't remember the words that were on the scheme.
Right. So tell us about yourself, man.
And I don't really know. I'm a civilian now after 8 years. I got out during a pandemic, which probably wasn't my brightest choice ever. But I'm good. I live up in Maine. I don't know if you guys know where that is. It's way up.
I've been to Bangor once.
Banger.
Yeah, I've been to Bangor.
I've been to Portland, I think, like 4 or 5 times at this point. So love it up there.
Yeah, it's nice up here.
I flew into Bangor in August of 2005 on my way to Iraq, and or technically at that time was Kuwait. And when we got off the plane there, those people are the nicest people in the world. They're like clapping and thanking us, saying, thank you for your service. Oh, this is so awesome here. This is before cell phones were abundant. And I'm like, here's a little place you can go call your family. Like, it's all on us, blah, blah, blah. It was the nicest people in the world. And I'm like, I haven't done anything yet. I'm on the way to go do something right now. Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah, I've heard that, but every time I deployed before into New Hampshire, I was like, really? Like, I can't just go to my hometown so I can see my family, but it never worked out.
I like Banger. I like the Banger, but that's
Oh.
that's all I know about Banger.
Yeah, I'm like the only one in Maine that actually calls it Bangor.
What?
Yeah, I'm a weird man. I don't even like lobster.
Wow.
Yep.
Even I like lobster. I don't like much of anything, but I like lobster.
Oh, I love lobster.
I can't stand seafood, and everyone up here that I live with in Maine are like, "Are you sure you're from Maine?" I was like, "Yep."
Well, and you were also in the Navy, and you don't like seafood.
Yeah, and I was never actually on a ship either in the Navy, which is ironic.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah,
What did you do?
I was with the CB unit, the construction battalion, for 4 years, then I went to the Pentagon.
Oh.
Wow. So Adam and you kind of share something in common there.
So you went up to the Pentagon. Okay. So I was probably depending on when you were there, I was right across the street over at the White House for quite a few years.
I was there from 2013 to not 2013, 2017 till last year.
I got you. I was there from 2011 to 17. So
So you probably left as I got there.
yeah, I have one of my good friends. She just got back to there. Melina Jackson. She's there right now, hanging out.
Yeah, I liked it down there, but I was down there during all the riots, so I never got to leave my apartment.
That sounds like fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's that's a good time to say I'm out of here.
Yep. Sure did.
So you don't do anything now, you just sit around and play games all day long?
No, I still work for the government and still in the reserves. But I'm home with my daughter now. That's the main reason I got out. But she's actually here now. She's playing, making sure she doesn't come over here, make loud noises like she just was.
And wife or no wife anymore, or what's going on?
No wife. I'm single. It's just me and her mother get along great, so
Good.
not really in a rush.
That's good. That's a good thing to hear. And how long you been sim racing?
Since October of 2013, I think. Oh, when was I?
Oh, wow.
A-school. Yeah, 2013, October.
And he's still on a controller.
Yeah, I actually have a wheel. I actually did one league race on it because I made a bet with another broadcasting company because they were always talking crap about how I probably wouldn't do good on a wheel. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. And I raced at Texas in the Cup cars and started dead last and finished second.
So so I am so I mean, obviously you can race well with the wheel. Why the controller?
I'm just so used to it. I don't know. And I'm like on this weird like kick where I want to be the first iRacing pro and a controller just to kind of destroy everybody's ego.
So I have to ask, what controller do you use? Is it something really nice?
Just a wired Xbox One controller.
Yep, I tried it out. We were at iRace. No, that was right after the Tennessee, the new track at Tennessee, Super Speedway that just opened up in the summertime. It came out, and I was like, I'm gonna, try to get some league points here and just try to do one lap. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm not gonna risk it. Have a good day, guys. I just gonna forfeit these races over the summer on my vacation.
Yeah, everyone says it's easy, and then like I'm kind of cheating. I'm like, it's not as easy as you think.
Oh,
You gotta have steady hands.
No, it's not easy at all.
Well, one thing I'm gonna, I think would be interesting is, the PlayStation 5 controller has those triggers that like push back against you, and like they have haptics and all that. Like if they get that working in iRacing, that could actually be like if you get the main thing you're missing from a controller, in my opinion, is that feedback of like what the car is doing. And if they could get that into a controller, more than just a vibration, I think that could, if you could tell when your tires are slipping and that sort of thing, like that might make it viable.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my buddy who has a PlayStation. I was like, that would be really awesome. Because right now I've just taught myself to listen to certain sounds to know what my car is doing. And that's basically what I base off. And right now, I think like last year they incorporated vibration in the controller. So now if I'm turning too much or sliding, it vibrates the controller and I know I'm pushing it too hard. So that's something new within the last year or so.
I think I would need just a little bit more feedback in the triggers to be more like a pedal. So as you're going, you got feedback going both ways, diff going both back and forward for you, and then yeah, I don't know how you turn with the little joysticks, man. There's not much there's not much room there to go left and right to try to correct yourself whenever you're around somebody. Whereas a wheel, I mean, you get the seesaw on it a little bit, and you got a lot of play. And the Xbox controller, there is no play.
Is
Yeah,
there
the
an actual
downfall.
like? Is there actual like little thing to turn, like a little pad thing that you like a
It's
little
just an it's
swizzle
just the
stick?
it's just the analog. I turn left or right. It's got 360 degrees. So if I like go all the way to the left, the car's all the way to the left. It's like I like if you look at the controller, I may be moving it like not even half a
Oh,
centimeter
so
to the
you're
left to
actually
turn.
moving your hands like
No,
this left and right,
No,
or
no, no.
no? No?
The analog with my left thumb.
it's just like a joystick, but the
Oh, okay.
joystick
So there's
basically. Yeah,
yeah, a
yeah.
little swizzle stick. Okay, yeah. All right, so that's what. All right, I know swizzle stick. That's what I call
Yeah.
it. But
I don't know
yeah,
if you guys noticed on the race that I won, you can tell when I'm getting like jittery because I will mess up a lot. So my hands will get all shaky because I know I'm like either close to getting a win. So I'll like twitch the joystick and my car will just abruptly turn or like twitch. If you guys ever see me leading towards the end, you see that, that's probably what's going on.
that's that's funny. I still the joystick. You know, you're the guy that the true sim guys who have like the whole pod, the whole 9 yards, everything like Adam up here, but have all the stuff, and you walk in with your little game controller. We look at like the sim guys are like, well, when somebody talks, you talk to somebody, you try to explain iRacing to somebody. I don't know about you guys, but like with Pat Patterson, I sit there and he goes, "You still doing that game thing?" I'm like, Pat, it's not a game, it's a sim. There's a difference.
You can't
You're
call it a
actually
game.
you're driving a car in a simulation race and everything like that. Okay, so you have like those little gamepad things you run around? No, we have steering wheels and everything. You used to know that. You guys broadcast this stuff on TV and stuff. Yeah, but I know there's some guys that say they drive with a joystick. And no, we don't use joysticks. Those only the little kids are coming in and do that. Now we meet Shane.
So
And Shane says he's driving a joystick.
So there's two
And
different
beating people with wheels.
So there's two different types of people. Who wants to come and be an enthusiast and be really immersed into the situation, and somebody wants to kick people's asses. That's what Shay shows up that he's like, I'm just here to whoop ass, and that's it. Like, I'm not here to enjoy myself or just run with friends and family. No, I'm here to whoop your ass and go home with my controller.
Well, it's kind of like I've told Nick before. Nick will complain sometimes, like if he gets in a bad wreck or something, and like the wheel, jerks really hard. He's like, "Oh, my wrist" or whatever. And first of all, I'm like, maybe you should, hit the gym. But second, like, why don't you just turn down the force feedback if it's doing? He's like, "Oh no, I need it to be realistic. I need it to be realistic." And it's like, within reason, but I mean, come on, it is still kind of a game. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of a game. But you know what? With him saying turn the wheel down, if he could drive a real NASCAR car, it's not that much feedback in the wheel. It's pretty.
I think I
pretty
drove
power
like
steering
the 2005-ish era ones when I went out and did the NASCAR experience, and you'd think those would be more shittier for feedback, but they weren't that bad going around Daytona. It was actually a pleasant drive to go around there to drive around the track.
Yeah. So, well, now we know we need to call Shane, Mr. Controller, Shane. Theron.
I get called Mr. Controller Man all the time. So.
That's funny.
So
I mean, not really, but okay, I'll say it's funny. Not really.
So how good are you on road courses? Turning left and staying left is one thing, but now we're gonna go this Monday to the Red Bull Ring, and where you're gonna have to go left and right and back and forth and toss the car around a lot.
Road course I've never been at, not good. Like I got one road course win like 6 years ago at Watkins Glen, and then earlier this year, I won at Daytona road course. I don't know how I did it. I don't know, but it's like hit or miss with me. But I have a European friend who does nothing but road courses, and he's been teaching me a lot. Even though I'm on a controller, but letting me know where braking points is, when to shift, and that's actually helped a lot. Even though I'm on a controller, but it's hard to stay like consistent on a controller on a road course.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. It's going to be crazy and nuts to be able to go back and forth to be consistent to hit that line after line and the breaking points. I mean, that's the real tricky thing too. Is you don't have that feeling of locking up with a load cell brake. You don't have that aspect. You're just feeling it. It's crazy.
Yeah, controller vibrates if I lock them up, but the only thing that hurts the most is I can't like ease the wheel back coming off the corner on a road course like a lot of these guys can. It's turning and then go straight. That's the problem I have a lot of the times.
So a question about the vibration there. You said that it vibrates like if you're locking them up. I mean, are there different vibrations for like different things the car is doing, so you can kind of differentiate when the tires are slipping due to? I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like, can you differentiate like if it's like the front tires or the back tires, or is just all just vibrating the same?
Kinda like if I'm turning too much, it'll be like a steady vibration, like just a long one. If I'm braking, it's like stutters, as if
Okay.
I'm like wheel hopping. It's weird, but I can't tell where it's coming from. I just know something's happening with my tires, and I probably should fix it.
I gotcha.
Oh man, it just kills me. You're telling me all this stuff. So do you like the controller you have? Does it have like two pads in the front of it too?
No, it's just the basic two analogs and the buttons. I shift with the buttons on the right side.
I'll send you a picture. Actually, let me. I can go grab mine. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm totally curious of
I
this.
got it right here, man.
This may be my whole thing. This may be
Yeah,
what
exactly.
I need
That's
to get.
exactly what I run on, but a wired version.
Yeah, so
that might be what I need right there. That's maybe I don't need this
So
steering
this is
wheel.
where
I mean,
he goes left and right, left and right. And that throttle brake.
okay, so there's the two pads up on the front.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
does have the two pads. All right, so I wasn't too far off.
These are your two triggers. So that's gonna be his throttle. That's his brake, and then that's where he turns. He probably has this set up maybe.
I shift up with B and down with A.
Oh, okay, you don't use these?
No, I use those to go through the menus.
Oh, okay.
For like tires and all that.
Yeah.
Black box menus.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is fascinating to me. I'm sorry I seem really weird about this, but I'm fascinated. I really am. I'm sure some other people out there are too.
Like I said, I tried this over the summer at Nashville Super Speedway. That's what it's called. I tried it there, and the week after it came out, because that's when our league decided to switch to it in IVRL, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, the best way to use a controller is to find one where the analog has less give, not one that's too easy to like turn with. If it's too sensitive, it's so much easier to turn too much and lose control. You want one that has like it's like harder to move, so you can like ease into it.
I probably have one of those. I have an Xbox somewhere in the house.
He's going to be out there next week in Talladega and TNT.
Screw you guys! Move over! I'm coming through with my controller.
When he wrecks everybody, I was on a controller.
Well, he'll still probably finish ahead of Nick. So
my wheel fell off. My joystick fell off. My joystick fell off.
That's if I'm there. I might not be able to make it this Monday, unfortunately.
What?
Oh, so you're talking about missing the Red Bull ring? That's unfortunate. I'm actually coming back to Fuel for that one, I think.
Yeah, if I get there, it'll be literally like 5 minutes before qualifying.
Oh man.
So I may not have any practice. So that should be interesting.
You just stay in the back and just collect points.
That's what I did at Sebring. I started way in the back and just let everyone crash in front of me.
So what is your best track?
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Wow.
I have probably like 20 wins there in leagues.
Wow.
That's one of the tracks I loathe. So I would say teach me your secrets, but you don't run on a wheel, so it's kind of hard to teach me your secrets.
Well, you turn the pad this way, you turn the pad that way.
Yeah, I try to explain the line to run because it's like a particular line depending on the car. But for cup cars, it's literally just drive it like Harvick does.
Yeah, I I don't know. I think this year I did better than last year on our Phoenix runs that we've done in the leagues that I run. I'm starting to get a little bit better, but it's still not one of my favorite tracks to run at. And I hate that it's the season finale at two of the leagues I run. I'm like, let's go back to Homestead. That was a blast and a fun race to do, but no, they want to let's go back. Let's keep it at Phoenix.
I like it when leagues end in Atlanta. I think that's
I
really
would
fun.
love Atlanta to be the, I want a racy track. I want a track that has multiple grooves. I want, action and be packed throughout the night versus like, okay, hopefully you can get to the inside on turn 1 and then maybe we'll dump you there going into turn 3 there. So
Usually how Phoenix goes. If Phoenix is loose, you can pass. If it's it's grippy, it's just single file.
So
For what it's worth, I love Phoenix too. I'm not very good at it, but I do enjoy running there. But man, I would be okay, if we ran every race at Atlanta though, like every single race. Just I want to join an Atlanta only league.
Have you guys seen the photo of the banking of the new one yet?
No, I haven't.
It looks wild.
Beautiful.
I keep
It looks
commenting
like
on their
Daytona.
I keep commenting on their post whenever it was all dirt. I was like, yes, they're trying to one up Bristol with the dirt racing.
Yeah, I honestly, I would have preferred. Like, I'm all like completely understand the argument against the cookie cutter mile and a halfs. Like, something had to be done there, but you take one of the ones that had the most character in Atlanta and you convert it. Like, there are some other tracks that could have probably been changed over before Atlanta.
It needed a repave. Like, as much as everybody said, they don't want to repave it, the track needed the repave.
You can repave without reconfiguring, though. We're talking about completely changing it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, but I like everything NASCAR does. I'm going to go into it with kind of an open mind. And
the most I was mad about was Auto Club. I think, Auto Club shrinking from, a fun track that's kind of like Atlanta-ish, and they drop it all the way back, Larry. Then they drop it down to a Martinsville/Bristol. So,
and they also got rid of Chicagoland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that.
I did pretty good at Chicagoland a couple weeks ago, so they didn't keep that one around.
I need to check and see what you guys are reading here. See.
Oh yeah, we got Mr. Larry Patrick commenting.
Mr. Larry Patrick, this is not that segment. We're in the fuel segment. We'll get to that in a little bit. But so if you do show up on Monday night, where do you see yourself finishing there? There you go. That's the word I want to say.
I have no idea. I haven't even bought in the track yet, so I have zero idea. If it's easier to drive than Sebring, probably finish where I was in Sebring. I think it was like 13th, 12th. I have no idea. A lot of good road racers in fuel.
Yes.
Gotcha. So yeah, I've never personally ever raced or done anything at this track, so I'm coming into this as a broadcaster, really green. So I'm gonna have to kind of do a little bit of research this weekend on this track so I can give a little better commentary coming into it. So I've never raced it, and just like you, I just bought the track, so I can actually broadcast at it. So
Adam, since I'll be running the race this week, if you want to, I can put together a practice session and we can run a few laps and you can see how it is from a broadcaster perspective.
That'll work.
Because I'm nervous about it. I've never run it either, and it looks intimidating.
I heard it. So it's Josh keeps describing it as a Watkins Glen-esque track. So yeah, that's what he keeps saying every time we brought it up 2 weeks ago or a week ago or so when we were talking about fuels going to the track. So that's the only thing I keep hearing from Josh. And Josh is a road course guy, so I kind of trust him on it.
I think I've actually run it on my phone. They have a Formula One track or something, Formula something on the phone, and I used to race that all the time. And sit there on the crapper and race.
We get people playing with controllers, people playing with phones. Like, where are we going from here?
I'm actually buying the track now. I've actually raced there in F1. I guess I know what the track is at least.
Yeah. I if I recall right, the track is actually pretty fun to race. So yeah, should be fun for you guys that like road courses.
I like
Not
road
me.
courses and road course cars. Maybe and actually the new next gen car, and the new one, it's actually pretty good. It's a little bit slower per se overall, but the overall speed it got at Coda, because they kind of announced, I think brought those out near when Coda was out, came out and all that good stuff. And I did a cup race. Actually, I did 2 cup races back to back with leagues, and then I just went out and said, let me see what the Gen 6 car can do. And I was 3 seconds faster on my very first lap, and not even know where the new brake and accelerating points were. I was like, all right, I like this car a little bit better.
I mean, to be completely honest, I thought the Xfinity car that Fuel uses at Sebring was a blast to drive. It was without a doubt, in my opinion, the most fun race I've done in Fuel, and that's probably mostly because I'm not very competitive at all in the ovals. But I can remember. I finished 25th at Sebring, but it was me and Cal were just back and forth like every other lap. Like he'd pass me, I'd pass him, and it was a lot more fun than I've had at the ovals.
Well, that was a fun race. The setup was good. I hit the tire barrier, but I mean it was good.
Well, Shane, you may be there, you may not. I mean, all right. If you do race, where do you think you'll finish?
Well, considering I know the track, and depending how the setup is, I'll go in there better than Sebring. I don't know. I'm maybe a top 10. I mean, I was shooting for a top 10 at Sebring until I spun out. So I'm gonna go top 10. Probably not even close to top 5. Probably like between 7th and 10th.
Wow, that's
I
not
guess.
bad. Not bad at all. How many guys are still racing in Fuel?
About
Have you guys lost any?
35-ish since the last time.
Yeah. So if you start dead last and you finish in the top 10, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we'll see. I would like to. I mean, because I missed Kansas, and the irony is I missed Kansas and it goes caution free. So maybe I'm just the issue.
I mean, I was also not there at Kansas, so it could be me.
Yeah,
and I would say statistically, it is probably more likely me than you.
But so what we like to do, we like to go around the horn and ask everybody up here, including the guest, who do you think's going to win the race? So I'm going to start off with Carl. Carl, who do you think will win the race?
Oh, I thought you were saying that you were picking me to win the race.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
Yeah, we all have a dream sometime.
I am going to go with Mr. Thomas Bressy. He was pretty strong at Sebring. Honestly, strong at every track. So I'm going with Bressy.
All right, I'm going to go with the undoubtable Mr. Alan Elwood. He's strong at any track he's going to. So that's going to be my pick.
I'm going to go with Michael Stroll.
That's another good pick.
Well, it depends if he shows up, but I had to go with Riley, Riley Thompson. And if he doesn't show up, then my pick would be Cameron Hearn. So
yeah, Cameron's been putting on a clinic in this league. Unfortunately, he got messed up in the last race he was in and smacked the wall there. And but yeah, he's been forced to be reckoned with in this league as well.
I think he had bad luck at Sebring too, and he qualified out front. So yeah, if Riley's there, that's my pick. If he's not there, it's Cameron Hearn.
Good
Both solid picks. I was actually sitting there thinking for a second that nobody was going to pick Riley. I think he's.
I was going to say Allen, but he took my pick.
Oh,
you could have doubled that. I mean, you didn't have to go with your own pick.
Gotta be different.
Gotta be different for sure.
Alrighty. Well, hey, man, we appreciate you finally being able to come on, and I'm glad you're feeling a lot better, so you're able to come on, man. And we wish you luck here coming to a new track to come next Monday.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me. This was it took so long, but I can talk now, so that's good.
You couldn't talk before. What happened to you?
Between allergies and a bad cold, every time I'd talk, I would be coughing ridiculously. So it lasted for like a
Ooh.
week and a half, 2 weeks. It wasn't COVID, so that's good. But
Yeah,
yeah,
sure it
it
was.
was
That's what
rough.
they all say. I'm just kidding.
I had to get tested for work, so yeah. But luckily it wasn't, so I could still see my daughter.
Oh, good thing, man. Glad to have you on. Glad to have you on the show tonight. There's always an open door for you down the line, so we'll probably have you back on once again somewhere down the line. So,
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming on. Bye bye.
Anything.
All right, so Shane is gone now. Who's we have one more guest tonight, I believe, right? Or maybe two?
We were supposed to have Harvey Abrams. Waiting for him to come in. He said he might be running a few minutes late, so I see him with a yellow moon next to his name. He's not a green light on Discord, so he's not here. But we can go ahead and talk about it because I had a blast this week at Las Vegas. I know you guys up there in the booth had a blast because there was a lot of action all over the track for most of the race.
It was a great race. It really was a lot of fun to watch. The draft that you guys actually were able to have in that race. I mean, we really weren't anticipating that you were going to have that much of a draft in the race, and there was a lot of drafting going on. It was like a super speedway a lot of times.
Yeah, so the very first lap going around, it was chaotic, but it was fun. Like there was cars everywhere. We were going three wide. I mean, we were shooting gaps, but it was all safe. And I mean, there was the lanes that were there, the cars stable, the setup was phenomenal from iRacing, and we were able to just make these moves. The grip was, almost in every lane, and just trying to go through it, but like you said, that draft was key. I tried to save to see in the first stage to see what the saving would do. I saved it not too much because I got out of the draft, and by the time whenever I said, "Hey, let me see what these tires can do now compared to everybody else," I was able to pass everybody that was in my pack. But then once I got to the front of the pack, I was 3 seconds off the next pack, so I couldn't make up the gap. So it's lessons learned there to try to stay with the lead pack whenever it comes to saving tires and trying to manage it throughout the race.
Yeah, I saw a lot of things. A lot of drivers I wasn't expecting to have the night they had, like Nicholas Weatherby. He didn't have as quite the same type of night that we usually see him have. Usually we see him up front a lot during the race, and he really wasn't there that much. He was just kind of in the middle of the pack most of the night. So that was kind of surprising. He was back there with you, wasn't he, for a while there?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the race, you had some people being conservative and some people just weren't comfortable. Like I had some people said, "I'm just going to drop back a little bit because this is a little bit too much." Because I mean, we were being racy as hell to start with. For the first 5-10 laps of that, I think we barely squeezed out that 35 lap run, and we were basically tanks were empty on that after the first stage. That's what I was trying to make sure is that, I was looking at my fuel calculator and going, it's showing that we're going to be right at 35. That means whenever the caution comes out, if he times it too late, we won't be able to stop on the first lap. We have to go around a second. Will people be able to have fuel at the end of the stage? And, people were. So, I try to be the conservative guy that I am. I'm hoping they would be more excessive and run out of fuel and help me out, give me some more stage points.
There was a little bit of I'll get into that in a second, but Derek Schilling, he seemed like he found, if there was something happening, it seemed like he found it through the whole race. It was a bad night for him, for one. A couple other guys seemed to get into some of that stuff. Ryan Cliver was another one. He seemed to find all the wrong spots to go to. But we did have a bit of controversy in that race. And we were hoping that we would be able to get one of those two guys on tonight. Dalton Tucker, who showed up, we hadn't seen him in a while. he shows up, and him and Greg Holt got into a little bit of
A boxing match almost. I
But,
think
yeah, it was
if
pretty much it
if they
pretty
could
much
have got
was.
out, if they could have got out of the cars in that third stage, I think they would have got out of the cars and had a great 12-round battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they it was kind of wild because Dalton got into Greg, wrecked him really bad. His night was pretty much over. And the first time they lapped around Greg, it was no big deal. Greg, well, it kind of came up a little bit, but not. He didn't really get into anybody.
Well, he
just
almost
kinda,
took out Charles. He was
well, Charles, yeah,
he was getting close to Dalton, but as while he was doing that, he floated up almost doored Charles in the process. There.
Yeah.
He almost became an innocent victim there.
But then he eventually, the next time they came around and lapped him, he actually got into Dalton, and it was pretty obvious what he was doing. And they made no bones about it. They did it on purpose. It was definitely shown that they had no like for each other, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't get to see either one of the things that happened there, so I can't really comment it too much. And in IVRL tradition, there was a lot of bantering back and forth on the radio channels,
Yeah,
back and forth.
It was.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised the radio didn't get muted. Normally they get muted at that point in time, but no, it just kept going on and on and on,
Yeah.
back and forth for a little bit. And so I'm back there just trying to run my own race there. We came off. That was coming off of stage 2. Stage 2 was actually the caution field. So stage 1 went green all the way. Stage 3 went green all the way. Stage 2 did not. We had, I think, 2 or 3 cautions in that one. And that's where Nick Goble came up on the track and took out Cliver. I don't see both of those were dumb moves on both parts because Goble got knocked off the track and he was like, okay, well, whatever. So let me merge back up on the track here in the middle of 1 and 2, and which is kind of a dumb move itself. He should have merged on the back straightaway, but he didn't want to give up that speed. I get it. And then Cliver, seeing him like merged up to the track, he didn't let off the throttle. He just kept going straight and just plowed in the back of Nick Goble. So I mean, it was both parties just did a boneheaded move. If I see somebody the lower in the track that just wrecked, I'm not running the bottom line. I'm running the high line. You don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, and I know that like Greg was really upset because when the initial contact between him and Tucker, there was no caution came out, and he was really upset about that. He kind of kept asking Cody, "Are you going to throw the caution? Are you going to throw the caution?" And Cody said, "No, I'm not throwing the caution."
He said,
and
like you said on the air, and that's in par of what we've done the whole entire season. I don't think only time we've ever thrown a full caution I think he's done is when I think on one of the early restarts when somebody jacked up the whole entire field, like we threw an extra caution there. When I think it was at Darlington or something. That's it was unprecedented something. But Charles came off of turn 4, ran the middle line off. Gave Cliver plenty of room there on the outside. Cliver just ran the middle groove to the high side, and both of them occupied the same real estate, and it didn't. Charles drove hit the side of them and dropped down to the center. Didn't throw a caution. While I'm talking, we got Harvey Abrams in the waiting room.
Hey, let's go grab him.
There we go. What's going on, Harvey?
How's it going on, fellas?
Oh,
it goes.
It goes around.
It's the podcast, dude. You're on the podcast. Harvey Abrams is in the house.
Hello, podcast listeners and watchers.
And your mic is hot.
Is it loud?
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
I turned him down on my side.
You turned him down? All right, good.
Is that better?
Yeah.
He was killing me.
So, hey man, go ahead and tell us about you, man. It's been a long time since you've been on the show here. So, We're talking about Vegas, but we'll pause right quick and we'll start talking about you.
I don't know if you guys want to talk about me.
Hi, I'm Harvey. I'm an alcoholic.
Yes, say hi. I'm Harvey. I'm an alcoholic. Oh shit, wrong podcast.
Last night.
Well, I did make a sponsor change and went to the Crown Royal. If you guys haven't noticed, starting to stray away from Dude Wipes a little bit, but we got something special coming Tuesday night.
We haven't got Dude Wipes here or Crown Royal from you. You're horrible with your sponsorship with the Ghostfire Media.
Really.
I mean, I could share the Dude Wipes. I don't know if you guys want to share that.
Are they new? Are they new or used?
I can't be sharing the Crown Royal. I mean, that's a little special for me.
Yeah, definitely. So you had a fun night, I guess, the other night, and the race at Las Vegas.
Yeah, it was actually it was going good. I was just kind of cruising, just hanging in there right at the beginning. I burnt the left or the right rear up, or the right front up, I should say, early on. I honestly thought there'd be more cautions than what there was, and then felt decent about the second stage, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Thomas.
Yeah.
And Juan got into it, and I had nowhere to go. Then I got ass packed going after I slowed down, so it cut down the RPM, and I was just riding at that point.
So they gave you more than just a tip?
Oh, he gave the full thing.
They was firewall deep.
But sadly, Harvey got like 5 minutes of repair, whereas Ryan Cliver net coated through him and got a little bit of just front end damage.
Yeah, I had just a tad bit on the nose from getting into the side of I think it was Thomas I got into, and then when Ryan hit me, it just shot the car straight up into the wall and it destroyed it. I'm just surprised I finished one lap down. I really thought that I would be multiple laps down.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I thought you would be farther down, and you weren't. And there were several guys that I thought didn't have as much damage as you did, or whatever. I think they finished like 2 or 3 laps behind you.
I think most of it was just motor damage. It wasn't keeping up the RPM. I didn't have a whole lot of aero damage. I mean, it felt really good. I mean, I was wide open the whole time afterwards. But man, it sucks because 1.5 miles are my thing. And ran good at Vegas in the spring and got caught up and had a really good feeling about it. But oh well, that's just how my season's gone.
Yeah, you've had kind of an up and down season. You'll run well, and then calamity happens, and you find it somehow. But
well, I can tell you, I'm not going to any casino here soon.
So Harvey's bad luck has been the whole entire playoffs. We're race number 4 done, and every race he's been taken out by somebody else. Like Harvey has had the worst playoff experience this whole entire time.
Hell, I didn't even get 3 green flag laps last week.
Yeah, he got destroyed right away last week at Bristol.
Yeah, I had nowhere to go, and it just happened right there in front of me.
And this one is basically the same thing happened to you. So, I think we were middle of stage 2 there. I think we were pretty early on in stage 2 because we're all still bunched up. We're still getting it. I'm riding on the inside down the back straightaway, and I see Carino in front of me. I'm drafting off of him, and he starts moving up to the high side like there's a gap there. There's not a gap there. There was a car on his outside, and I just saw him keep creeping up. I drove it straight to the bottom, hooked the white line there going into 3, and he smacked that, I forget who it was, Juan Garza, I think, and just plowed him into the wall, hooked him, and then all hell broke loose behind him. So, luckily I was able to see that and get out of the way before, somebody shot down and tried to hook me and turn me around.
Yeah, actually, so I think it was Nick Goebel was right in front of me, and I seen somebody move up, but I didn't know what was going on. And then at the last second, Nick dove down, and it was just bam right in the face. I mean, I couldn't go down because I had cars under me. All I could do was lock them up, and that was it. All she wrote.
So how do you guys, I mean, you guys are racing in that league. How do you guys feel about like Dalton and who else? Who took the pole, the 40 car? I can't remember. He can't. Houston.
Tommy
or
Schaefer.
Tommy Schaefer. I was going to Tommy Houston. Tommy Schaefer came in. You guys haven't raced with these guys in a while. How do you feel about them coming back during the playoffs?
Well, I mean, Adam might have a better answer for it, but I look at it like this. Real NASCAR, this is supposed to be just like a real NASCAR on here. There's how many guys? There's 32 other guys. That run with the playoff guys. I mean, yeah, they haven't been here for a while, but our numbers have been getting lower, and it's good to have more of a field, a bigger field. So, I mean, hey, it happens. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of the contact with Dalton and Greg. I mean, I'm just glad I wasn't in it, but
you almost were.
Well, almost. That could have, if that was somebody like me or Derek or Adam or Charles or somebody like that that's a little bit lower down, that could have really just absolutely destroyed our playoffs. See, Greg has enough points built up to where I think he should be good.
Yeah, I don't think
unless he just has.
Should be locked in.
Yeah, unless he has catastrophic results the next 2 weeks, he should be good. But hey, man, it's racing. Shit happens.
I mean, for me, I look at it as, like he just said, like we have 12 to 13 people showing up right now on average, and we're in the round of 12. So I like to have a little bit of buffer. So maybe if I can get ahead of them on stage points, I'll put a little bit of point separation between me and somebody else. So get a non-stage point person behind me that separates me and my competitors. So but that goes against me as well. They could finish ahead of me, and then that puts me back. So I like the additional people coming out and actually running it. Just I hate the things that happened there. We had between like Dalton Tucker and Greg Holt. That type of thing shouldn't happen. So hopefully next week we're probably going to have a lot, because next week we're going to Talladega. Who doesn't want to come out and run one of the what most people they don't like the new super speedway package. I still like it. I still like the old package better, but I still like the super speedway racing. And but that's where everybody comes out of the woodwork. Oh, we got a super speedway racing. Let's get out there and run. So we have like 15,
Michael Payne will probably be back.
We'll have like 15 new people rejoin the server this coming week to come run Talladega.
Super speedway racing's all right, but this package is just a rolling dumpster fire. I mean, you got to have multiple guys to even get anything going. At least for me, I suck at iRacing, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to next week. I think we'll have to do a little bit better than what Team Tito did at Daytona, because they played a little bit better strategy than our independent team did. So we just kind of have to change it up just a little bit. We worked great for the most part, and got the pit strategy down. We ran pretty good, and going in and out of the pits together. I think we only lost at one point. We lost one person out of the 5. So
me,
yeah, you.
If that comes as a shocker to anybody.
So you have 5 guys in the thing. So you have Harvey, you have Derek, Adam, and who was the other two?
Nick and Charles. Weatherby and Charles.
Okay, that's it.
So we've been working together so far for the past probably about a month and a half, 2 months, and we've been working out pretty good. I mean, we're not like working together, but we're able to communicate and make the track life a little bit easier when we're like almost half the field there. So I feel that if we need to do something on Tuesday night to make a run, or pit strategy to make it work, that we're half the field. So if we need to pit under green, we have the momentum if we all can come in out of off of pit road together, because we'll have the same momentum almost as the rest of the field.
The good thing about Talladega is the track is way wider. Pit road is easier to get in on, get off on. You have way more room. I like Talladega better than Daytona, but yeah, it should be a pretty good one.
Well, we
Hopefully
look
can all
forward
work
to.
together.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys. I mean, me and Nick were actually talking about this the other night, but how like it'll be the Independents against Team Tito. That's what we're.
Yeah.
So we look forward to seeing it. And Harvey, whatever you do, do not let Adam win again. Okay. So.
Well, I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try to take it myself, but
Oh.
I got a special paint scheme for Tuesday, so I just hope it looks opposite of what you'd see in real life.
Is it girl wipes and not guy or dude wipes?
No.
I'm trying to bring back I'm bringing back the race winning paint scheme at Miller High Life scheme, so that's what I'm bringing back. So if it won the first time around, I'm gonna hopefully have some good luck there in the second round.
I was gonna run this paint scheme at Michigan, but decided I'll bring it out this week.
Well, unfortunately, I won't get to see it because I'm gonna have to take that night off. I have a friend coming in from Panama City that I haven't seen in like 3 years, and he said, "Hey, want to meet me Tuesday night?" Okay. I wanted to watch freaking IVRL. I wanted to see the call the race, but nope, not this week.
Here's your chance, Charlie. You can come out, man.
Since,
we'll see.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, yeah, Carl, I was going to ask you that if you want to fill in for me.
You can broadcast with your best buddy Nick.
Well, I may actually be starting in a new league on Tuesday, so.
Oh,
one.
really?
Yeah.
Is that a Tuesday and Thursday night league?
It's a Tuesday night league right now, so yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
I was gonna tell Randy if you want to know my paint scheme without spoiling it. I guess it doesn't matter. But it's kind of like the scheme that Josh Balicki ran at Martinsville earlier this year. It's the police car paint scheme.
That was an awesome looking car. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's the same, pretty much the same paint scheme. It's got the light bar on the roof, so I just hope that it's in front of the field, not behind the field.
Chasing us down.
Actually, that's it.
Yeah.
That paint scheme actually, they ran that paint scheme. Ken Schrader's team actually ran almost that same paint scheme a few years ago in ARCA. I don't know if
Really?
Yeah, they actually did, because a real good friend of mine works for that, or did work for that team. Now he works for Nice Motorsports now, but yeah, he worked for him, and I remember seeing them. They actually won at Daytona running that paint scheme, so it's actually really cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I like the paint scheme. It looks pretty cool, I think.
cool. Yeah, I wish you luck, and remember, just keep Adam behind you. You guys might have a chance to win.
Oh, man.
If I could finish the race with all the body panels with 4 tires going in a straight line on all cylinders, I'll be happy.
I mean, if I'm pushing you to the win, I'm getting second, so that's cool with me. I'm still getting a good night's worth of points that lead me into the Roval. That's the one I'm iffy on. I'm gonna have to put in log a lot of hours on that one to really be competitive and consistent on the Roval for our race.
What does it even matter for you guys to even do the Roval? It's going to be the same exact thing as it is every road course you have. Oh, Clausy's going to win, and Patrick Gaswire is going to finish second.
Yeah, it's our cutoff
Hey,
race, though.
They can do that, but I just need to have a decent points night.
Yeah, I need to get stage points, and I need to be consistent. And I'm not looking for speed when I'm doing this. I'm looking for consistency. I want to be able to go out there and run 30 laps in a row without making a mistake, or at least or minimal mistakes at that.
Yeah, I mean, I lost like 6 points to the guys that were in front of me Tuesday night, so I got to have a solid night the next 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not a road course guy, obviously, if you've seen throughout the season, but I just need to keep calm and not freak out and just ride it and hopefully come away with some points, because when I stay calm, I can keep up there.
Yeah, you got to keep your head in the game. That's one thing Nick can't do.
Yeah, that's my big downfall. Is I feel like I get in a rush, and I got to get back up there. And then I start having mistakes. But if I could just keep the damn head on straight, I think I'll be fine.
Well, we wish you best of luck this week, and like I said, just keep Adam behind you. Will be fine. Just get as many points as you can. Adam doesn't need to win all the plate races himself, so
I've only won
Yeah, I
one.
mean-
come to somebody else.
He can win it as long as I finish second.
I've only won one. We've ran 4.
I know. I'm just kidding you. I'm messing with you, bud.
But hey,
I
man,
should have one win at Bristol if I wasn't dumb and screwed myself up.
Yeah, you did do that.
Yeah, I still beat myself up over it.
All right, man. Hey, man.
We always do.
I look forward to racing with you on Tuesday. So hopefully you have a good night and go spend some time with the family.
Yep. Thank you. Everybody's in bed, so it's time to go drink some more beer. So,
All right.
Let's go beer. Hey,
Oh,
let's go to Walmart. Let's go to Walmart.
No, see, you didn't. You said beer.
that's
You
30
didn't-
minutes away.
You didn't plug your sponsor. It's Crown Royal.
I'm not having Crown tonight. I got some Busch
but you-
lattes on the counter.
You gotta lie to the fan base here. You gotta
Yeah.
say.
I'd like to thank my sponsor, Crown Royal. Dude Wipes, for always keeping it clean after the Crown Royal nights.
Say.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night and have a good podcast.
Thanks, man. You too.
We'll
you.
see you Tuesday. See you guys.
All right. So Harvey Abrams is out for good for him to glad to see him stop by and join us tonight. It's always good to have him in. He's a good guest to have on. So we have Steve is on, but I don't know if Steve is
No,
in the
Steve's going to be about 9:30. We'll kind of transition to the Cup. So we'll start off with the TNT/Sportsman series, and then once we see Steve in the wings, we'll go ahead and bring him in.
I thought we were going to skip those 2 leagues tonight.
I said glance over.
Well, I mean, not much happened in TNT series.
No, nothing at all. I don't remember anything. I remember the 170 car just lapping the whole field except for one guy. I don't know how that guy got second either. I'm not really sure about that. So I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
So we'll
Don't
go
get
ahead-
mad at me. I'm just messing around.
We'll talk about it. I mean, last night Bristol, it started off as a good wreck fest. Some good racing that here and there. The slick tires proved to be an issue on lap 1 by multiple people. I think 4 people spun out in the very first lap.
Same lap. It was, and they all it was synchronized. One went, and the other one went, and then the other one went. It was like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah,
Josh, I think Josh started the whole thing, and then everybody followed him.
Which it was funny. Josh and I, me, Josh, and Chris Oliver ran during practice on Tuesday night. We after everybody disconnected. We ran a few pit parties, just the 3 of us, and I mean we probably did probably 10, 15 of them. And the reason we did so many is because we would start, we'd have our little restart, and then first lap, Josh would spin out every single time, and we'd have to restart right there. So when he did that, I saw him in my review spin, and I was like, oh, well, I guess we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it right before the race. We said, those tires are going to be an issue early on. But after that, the cars would probably tighten up and everybody would be running that mid to upper line throughout the race. And that's pretty much what happened. But it was kind of shocking to see, that
Numerous
spin
people.
thing, right? Yeah, numerous people all at the same time. I mean, and then as who was it before the race? Somebody I know I went down and talked to you guys before the race. Somebody was betting Nick he would spin out. Who was that? Oh, it was John Gordon, wasn't it?
That was from last night.
Yeah. John said something about Wednesday night hitting Nick and said that he should have waited because Nick would have spun out on his own anyways. Which is a little mean, John. A little bit mean.
Well, he did it last night by himself.
Yeah,
a couple times.
Yeah, it's a tough track. I mean, I put in, I did the math earlier, just in actual AOLL practices, not the solo practices I did as well. I did something like 350 laps of practice.
Holy crap!
I didn't want to make any mistakes, was what it really came down to. So,
and you didn't for a long time.
Oh, I don't think I made any mistakes last night. I think I made no mistakes.
Well, you might not have made any mistakes, but I mean, for a long time, you were out there just riding on your own, nobody around you. And yeah. And then
I think your mistake was not pitting at lap 27 and going and getting tires there. I know you guys probably didn't foresee going green from that point on, but
yeah, we had no idea. And I had so many races where I was one of the early ones to pit, and then another caution comes out. You know, your Brandon or your ZD would pit, and they cut through the field, and I would just be a sitting duck. So I thought for sure another caution was coming. We had something like 4 or 5 cautions in that first 20.
Well, you had 4 cautions, and at that point, I asked Adam. I said, "How many do you predict?" And Adam said,
"8."
Yeah. He said 8, and I said 9.
Yeah,
and then you guys no more
free for rest race.
Yeah.
And on top of it, like all of the laps I had practiced, I mean, I was kind of optimizing I was trying to hit the fastest 60 laps I could. Now that meant that I was giving up a little bit past that, which we saw with me and ZD. Because I think I led something like 70 something laps last night, and yeah, I mean, the moment I kind of got past the point that I kind of decided I was going to race for, that's when it started falling apart. Expected a caution before then, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean,
it fell apart.
I feel you on that one, and I've been in a situation numerous times where, I mean, you weren't saving tires, but I mean, like in IVRL races, our third stage is usually a 2 or 3 pits, or between 1 to 2 pit stops that we have to do there. And I'm always, trying to maximize my tire sets. I'm leaving myself at least one at the end in case we have a green, white checker or a late caution, and they never come. And other people, sometimes use that tire setup earlier in the race, and I always kick myself. Hindsight, you can't go back and change anything. You lay your bet in, you make it, and you're racing with what you got there.
Well, and even outside of tire sets, I mean, there have been so many races throughout my time in iRacing that, I save tires, and then the cautions do come often, and I've lost so much track position that the tire saving meant nothing.
Yeah.
And be honest, I mean, look, I was talking to ZD last night. ZD and I had a very good conversation after the race, and it's frustrating because it feels like those calls, those kind of things never go my way. Like and actually, Brian Bernhardt said something to me as well, that he basically always does the opposite of what he thinks is going to happen because it usually works out that way, and it does seem to happen. Like, I mean, Brandon just he's lucky as hell. I mean, he's good, he's really good. But he has also got a shit ton of luck, and it's infuriating.
Oh man, I know everybody was hoping one, except for Brandon, and that's the only person that was not hoping for a caution last night. I know everybody was probably begging for a caution all night long. At least halfway through the run, you're like, all right, cool, let's break this thing up. Can we get a competition caution, like something? Nobody needs to wreck. Just come on, Joe, Ged, somebody throw the caution.
Yeah, I mean I mean, we had people wreck and we didn't get a caution. But that's
and then we had some people who barely touched the wall and a caution.
Yeah, that was weird. Who's that, Nick or something like that barely touched the wall and the caution came out? I was like, really?
Nick spun coming off the corner. I don't even think he touched the wall and kept going, and the caution instantly threw for him. And Josh plows the wall.
Plows it.
His car parts are everywhere on the track, and nothing.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm be very, I'm be very selective with what I say here because I am no longer a racer in AOL. I'm only a broadcaster. So I had warned about this with when the admin caution was thrown at Charlotte, that it was going to open a can of worms about people wanting cautions thrown for their incidents. And, I also look back even to the last race of last season in TNT when Sean Carmody, the race was, the start of the race was delayed so that because Sean wasn't able to make it. And from a personal standpoint, like just because I like Sean, like I'm like, that's a good call. But then it's like, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, how is this going to be applied evenly to everyone? And look, the incident that happened last night with Josh was due to lapped cars not being able to hold a line and aggressive. ZD was aggressively behind Josh. Which we've seen from ZD before, and he hit Josh. That has championship implications. I mean, Josh is second in the points and was running well ahead of Brandon at that point. So by not throwing a caution there, I mean that's a major championship shakeup. Whereas if you go back to Charlotte, if they had not thrown the caution, in this case benefiting Brandon, and again from a personal standpoint, love it. Like I want to see Brandon up there battling. But it helped Brandon in that case. Is what I'm getting at. And I understand. The admins. They're doing the best they can out there. So I'm not trying to criticize the admins. They're doing what they can, but I still think that admin caution should be either an exceptionally rare thing or they should be applied fairly liberally.
Yeah, I agree with that. The thing about last night with you guys, like with ZD and stuff, he's saying being aggressive and stuff. Last night, it was a one groove racetrack. We saw guys try to pass low. I'm sure, you get aggressive, but I'm sure you get a little bit of frustration as well when you can't pass that guy in front, even though he was the fastest guy on the track. We watched it. He was the fastest guy. Lap after lap there for a while, he was just faster than everybody else, and he just couldn't get around anybody. And unfortunately, things happen.
Yeah, look, I mean that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I mean, you just because you're faster than someone doesn't mean you have the right to the position. And,
no, there's no doubt about that. But you eventually you sit there and try to concentrate behind that person, and mistakes do happen. I mean, because you're trying to run so hard, and then you're getting off the gas, getting back on the gas, and then you get off the turn, and we watched it and stuff, and it looked like it was just Josh let off a little bit because he was looking ahead of him, and ZD just was being aggressive and ran into him. I mean,
let's just talk facts. I mean, because ZD and I are good. I mean, I love racing with the guy. But I mean, look, he has ruined Josh's races 2 out of the last 3 weeks, rear-ending him.
All right.
He ran me up into the marbles when he passed me, and caused me to hit the wall, and my car was crap after that. I mean, it was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it ruined my race too, and I mean. It happens. Like I'm not criticizing him. I mean, because I've been on the other side of it before. But it just I don't know. Like I feel like if there was a caution when ZD and Josh's incident happened, let's say Josh had not done such a good job of keeping off the track. Would there have been a penalty assigned there? I'm curious. I honestly don't know, and it's just frustrating that because we stay green, like it just. And look, I mean, even after that happened, there was no caution thrown. There was still stuff going on. I almost got wrecked by the lap cars, because they were still all over the track.
Right. Yeah, I wonder about that too. I almost wonder if it would have been better if Josh had hit that inside wall the way he did and come back out on the track and just stop.
Yeah,
and then it would have forced a caution. There was no doubt about it.
when you have stuff like that happen, it feels like that's what is being encouraged.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think because I don't think the admins are going to throw the caution, and iRacing is not going to throw it. Evidently, it looks like.
Yeah,
You got to force it.
Yep.
I think the last 4 to 5 weeks, I've seen iRacing just go like their mechanism that causes a caution go out because whenever we as on our broadcast system that we have, we get to see when stuff is identified as a crash, and that's usually if our stuff says a crash, iRacing usually throws a caution, and we can identify it. And it 100% said that Josh crashed, and because I mean he came to.
We had another one too, didn't we? Have another one that we looked at? Like looks like somebody crashed and went back to look and it wasn't there, or it was. I can't remember. We had something funny as well, but
I think Gary Winters, whenever he went around that, but I think, but what he did is he hit the inside wall, and then when he tried to save it, he drove back up to the outside wall and smacked the outside wall and stayed there for a second. So
okay,
so he was in the driving lane.
And I want to, Justin Anderson commented, when you're aggressive like that and keep making the same mistake over and over, it stops seeming like an unintentional thing anymore. I genuinely don't think that there was anything intentional with what ZD did.
I think it was hard racing.
Yeah, I do too. But at the same time, like there are all sorts of situations where you are racing hard, and then you have to deal with the consequences of what happens there. And in the case of what happened to ZD, there was no consequences last night. I'm not trying to argue for a penalty or anything like that. I'm just simply saying that like it's. I'm just gonna shut up now. It's frustrating when it keeps happening in my team.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. It has to be frustrating for you guys for sure.
I think what happened last night, and my broadcaster viewpoint of looking at it, is that he needs to be a little bit more situational awareness. Josh let up off the corner coming out of turn 4 because he saw lap cars flying around on the track and going in the next corner. You got to be situational. I know he's racing Josh at, really hard in front of him, but you got to have situational awareness around the next corner in front of you, especially at Bristol, because those corners it's not a mile away. It's right. As soon as you get off that corner, you're looking at the next corner, and you got to see a bright yellow car flailing around like that. So, Dave's doing his best out there. He's putting in the lap times, but unfortunately he had a mistake right there. And when he had that mistake, Josh saw it, and he didn't want to be a part of it. So he's looking to try to figure out what lane he's going to be in it. And he gets a part of it.
To be honest, Josh may not have seen it. I'm not sure. We never actually discussed it. But the moment it started happening, I said, oh. And I think that's what caused him to check. But so I feel partially at fault. But it looked like it was about to be a huge thing. I mean, it was, and I didn't want to get hit by Josh. But it is what it is. I mean, it's, I mentioned, I posted today that I'm moving on from TNT series, and I want to race with more people at my skill level. I mean, there were some guys in TNT series that were at my skill level, but then you run into a lot of stuff like that, and it's frustrating. I mean, when you have, I feel like with the exception of Atlanta, all of my wins this season have been the tracks I didn't deserve to win. I didn't deserve the win. It just kind of fell in my lap. And then where I've been really good, like I feel like I was really good last night. It doesn't play out for me. And that's how it goes. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
And if you looked at the old days of Bristol, there were a lot of exactly what went on last night. One groove, everybody following each other around. You always have this one guy that's faster than you. He's sitting there, run around there for 40 laps, and eventually they get into you. Whatever happens, whether it's lapping somebody or whatever. I mean, that's just the way it used to happen back in the old days of Bristol. It doesn't happen like that anymore because you can kind of pass a little bit now. But back when Bristol was a one groove track, kind of like you guys have last night, there were a lot of that, just all over the track, whether it was for first or 30th.
While I have the stage here, I want to issue an apology real fast to John Gordon. On in race chat, like at one point when I was trying to I was trying to pass him, he was a lap down, and I came over the radio and asked him to go low, and asked both him and the person in front of him to go low, and the person in front of him did. He didn't, and I came up with a smart ass comment on the in race chat.
You said something
afterwards.
smart ass.
Yeah.
No.
But I took another look at it, and I came over the radio really late. He had no time to react to it, so John did nothing wrong there. So apologies for that. I should think before I hit the speak button.
Yeah,
Well,
they
that
make it
goes with everybody.
they make it, at least a one layer where it's not an open chat there. So at least they have one layer
Yeah.
where you have to press the button. So
Yeah.
I said a lot of things on Wednesday night that I probably shouldn't have. I didn't say it on the air. I said it in the team chat though.
Yeah, so let's transition into Sportsman and talk about that race. I did not participate. I watched some of it with Johnny Downey at Universal.
Oh.
we were sitting in the rain, and he's got the phone out watching the race. I go, "Hey, who's leading?" We're like watching the race as we're sitting there waiting in line for going into a show.
Were you guys cuddling while you were doing it?
No, we definitely were not cuddling because no.
Crystal wouldn't have that.
No, Crystal might cuddle up against us, but that was about it. But I don't think that's as far as it's going to go because we were pretty wet. I mean, one of the funny things I will tell you this. Let me just say this. So we took Patrick, Johnny's son, to see this. The whole family we did this show, and I saw the show a couple nights before,
Rocky Horror
and I was
Picture.
on the side. I was on the side of the show, so I couldn't see everything that was actually going on. So the show had a little S&M stuff going on in it. Just little, the girls were twerking and, their butts are hanging out and all this stuff. And this one girl gets up on this platform and she's doing all these contortion stuff. So she spreads her legs wide open, like just as far as I can go, looking right at us. And Patrick looks over at Crystal and goes, "Mom, I'm only 11 years old."
Oh yeah, Patrick
I
is
just want to point
very
out that
expressive.
I just want to point out that Johnny Downey just said he was cuddling with me so he didn't get wet. So
yeah, I got really wet. Those guys had
Phrasing.
ponchos. I did not have it was crazy. I did not have a poncho. That's crazy. I didn't have a poncho. I had a jacket, and while we were in that show, I'm like wringing it out, trying to get the water out of it because it was so freaking heavy. So is Johnny out there watching us?
Yes, he is.
I guess he is.
All right. Welcome back.
So he
I
said the
hope you had a
quote
good
said, "Mom, I'm just a child."
Oh yeah, I'm just a child. I thought, yeah, something like, yeah, I'm just a child. But that was great. It was a great show. It really was. But looking at it from straight on, opposed on the side of the stage, although the girl did twerk in my face the other night, but that was about as much as I saw. Yeah. And but
Oh.
all
right, so we'll go back to Sportsman here and not the lady spread.
Oh, that's right. We're talking about Sportsman. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I thought you didn't want to talk about it, so I was kind of killing some time because you didn't want to talk about it. You just want to graze over it.
Yeah, I'm gonna graze over it. So my grazing over it was I'm not a short track guy, and I felt awesome grabbing the pole and leading laps, and that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I got the pole, buddy. And other than
where'd
that,
you finish?
That's the part I'm not talking about.
Well, you did catch some stuff that wasn't that you had nothing to do with. You just got caught up in stuff that it was unfortunate luck.
Yeah, that's that's where my mind was going great. Like I'm like, man, I'm gonna have a great points night. This is the one I circled on the map yes, I got the pole and the shaft. So
Wow, yeah.
So
did it go like this?
I was like, hey man, this is gonna be a great race. Because because I circled this on the track. I was like, this is out of the 3-race segment, I'm not going to be good at. Next week we're at iRacing Super Speedway. Depending on how everybody drives, I might have pretty good luck there. And then Texas, I might do pretty good. I did really good at Chicagoland, got the win there. Kind of similar track-ish, 1.5 miles. So I was like, I feel pretty confident there. It's just a short track at 5 flags. So I was like, I'm not going to be too comfortable. So I went out, I ran practices all day Sunday when I wasn't doing Bristol. Monday while I'm sitting here at the house and everything. Tuesday before the IVRL race afterwards. And all day Wednesday, I ran a whole bunch of practices. I get the pole. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm running really good, consistent, fast laps. And then I pitted. And then that's all she wrote.
To be honest, not to go completely back to TNT, but that's part of the reason why I didn't pit that one lap, because I did not want to end up back in the back, because I saw what happened with you. But I have to say, you had a pretty rough night. There were a lot of rough nights. I have to say the worst performance of the night, though, had to be Josh Hanner, and he wasn't even in the race, but he was crew chiefing for Chris Bassini. And the call to pit so incredibly late, one of the Hanner, I almost considered firing Hanner from closed circuit racing. It was so bad.
Well, actually, when we tuned into the race, Chris was leading.
Yeah, and I was saying at some point, like I was on the broadcast, I'm like, I think Bassini should be aiming to pit around, I think I was saying like lap 60 or something like that, and I was maybe 60 to go, because I had seen how long it took Blake and Justin to get through the field. It took them like 30 laps. And I was saying on the broadcast, I was like, he's got to leave. Chris Bassini said, I defer all comments to my ex-crew chief. I was saying, you got to leave yourself enough time to get back through the field after you pit. Because there wasn't much tire fall off on Wednesday night, and
there was not enough green flag laps to really get your spots back.
Yeah. So they waited too long, and they just didn't have time to get back through the field. And I don't know if Bassini had the fastest car. Because even when he was leading, Blake Gordon was like right on his tail, but he certainly had a top 5 car and didn't get that finish.
Yeah, I feel him.
Yeah. You did too.
Whenever I got back there, I just got around people, and bad luck happened. I passed people. I get up around 14th, 15th, and start, because I got back all the way to 22nd, I think, after pitting. I made it up to 14th, got wrecked, and then I moved, but had to start back in 22nd again. I worked my way back up, got wrecked, and then moved and just kept going back. So it's like I'm passing the same people over and over, and just going. A cycle of violence is just happening here, and I'm not liking it. And you start off the race thinking that this could be it. You're gonna have a good solid 3 races, hopefully, because this is my bad race. And
that track is so little. I mean, I don't know how you guys ran those trucks around that track. It's so small. I mean, with 20 guys out there, the leader basically takes the green flag, and by you're taking the green flag, the rest of the field is often turned too. It's so small.
Isn't it like 0.48 miles though? I thought it was something like that. I mean, it's just under a half mile. So I mean, but it's not much smaller than like Bristol.
It seems it though.
It does seem it. It feels very claustrophobic.
It's because I mean, you don't have the large banking or the side aprons and stuff, and then there's not as high of banking. And I was hooking it. I was hooking the bottom wall left and right, going through turn 1. I mean, I could reach out and touch the pit wall. I was hooking the white line all the way down to that far when I was out front. And, I had the truck to turn. I had it, hooking the bottom as much as possible. And it's just, once, I think Bassini finally got to me. I wasn't going to push him. Like, I thought about racing him for a little bit to see, what I can do for a late race run with him. But I was like, I don't want to wear my stuff out here, take the position, and then, we had a caution come out like probably about 5 laps later, and I was like, all right, well, this is time for me to pit then. So my rest of my team, fortunately, pitted one lap sooner, or 1 caution sooner. I know they were talking about it, but I must have missed a cue or something. I probably in my head by leading. I don't want to, focus down on that. I might have missed a cue to come in. So So I missed a good pitch strategy with my team to help drive through the field.
Well, Blake, I guess, did what he usually does. Just found the right moves at the right time and won again.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little funny to me. I mean, he's not participating in the chase because he is going to miss some races, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how many of these races he ends up winning, and nobody gets that ticket to the next round because he won it. So it'll be a fun little game to play.
Yeah, I agree. So Steve here yet or no?
He just told me that he is here. So he said he's in the waiting room. Which room is he in?
I did not see him.
He's in the AOL room. So
Whoops.
yeah. So let me tag him in the Ghostfire Media one. So he just sent me a text message too.
So while we're waiting for our next guest, what you got there?
Blake said I heard my name. He's not commented all night.
Hey Blake, you know what? Yesterday I ran a Vegas Open for the Cup cars. I got the pole. I led 47 laps straight, and there's a guy named Blake behind me the whole entire way. You know what he does? With 2 laps to go, or 3 laps to go, lap 47 of 50, the dude drives. He's about 3/10 back and just stuffs it into turn 3 and wrecks me to win the race. I was like, it's goddamn Blake's, man. God, they're out there trying to kill me.
I know the feeling.
Oh,
while we got a second here, I always tell my buddy I'm gonna plug his show. So if you listen to Sirius NASCAR Radio on Channel 90, please tune into the Front Stretch tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. You can listen to Pat Patterson. And then also on Sunday morning as well, you can talk all your NASCAR talk and give him a call. So, I told him I would do that, guys. I made sure I would do that. I mean,
you got all 7 of our viewers out there are going to be tuned in now.
These get replayed. People do watch them other times. So
I have Sirius XM. I'll be watching or listening, I should say.
All right, let's bring it on Steve. Let's get in the cup segment and we'll talk with Steve. We've been wanting to get him on the broadcast or the podcast.
Nerf?
Yeah, Nerf.
Nerf. That's all we always called him. Nerf. He didn't have a name. All we ever called him was Nerf.
It's Nerf or nothing, man.
Nerf. There he is. It's Nerf. He's adjusting his camera, getting himself all looking good. Yep.
Look, he got the Nerf card in the background. Look at him.
Yeah, there it is. Got his t-shirt on, everything. So, is your mic on?
We don't hear you.
Yeah, we don't hear you.
To talk,
how about if I do this?
Oh, there
that's
you go.
better.
You probably have a push to talk still.
Yeah, I've got push to talk.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, well, welcome to the room, man. We've been trying to get you for months now, and we're finally able to get you on tonight. We appreciate you making some time here on this wonderful Friday evening to come out and speak with us.
So, Steve, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself. What you do for a living or what you did for a living, all that fun stuff. It just gives everybody the 411 about yourself. Unlike the rest of us that kind of know you.
Okay. Let's see. Well, let's go back to when I was born. No.
Sounds good. I'm in it to win it.
We want the full story.
All right. Let's see. I actually am not working right now. I've been on disability for a while. First because chronic Lyme disease, and then somehow, I don't know if it's related or not related, I ended up with a blood disorder that this year turned into a blood cancer, which we can talk about at some point. It's been a hell of a year. So, but before all this started, I got an engineering degree. I spent a few years doing that, and then I moved over into software marketing and software development, and started my own consulting business. had clients all over the New York area, and loved what I did. Was automating businesses, and this is really like back when Windows was just becoming a thing. So it was a lot more of a challenge then than it is today, when you can pretty much design things visually. I had to do almost everything by code. And one of the reasons I ended up having to quit that, because I always thought, when you become disabled, it's only because, you can't use your arms or legs or something like that. But chronic Lyme disease kind of scrambles the brain and messed with my memory. And it got to the point where I couldn't remember bits of code that I had in other places. So when I changed something in one place and it affected something somewhere else, I couldn't remember that. And so I started really screwing things up and took a break. Thought it was going to be a temporary break, and unfortunately it became permanent.
Well, that sucks. So, Steve, now remind me, because my memory's not that good either. But it's just because I'm old. Anyways, back in the day, we talked about this last time. You joined us about 10 around this when the 10 network was on. You, Tim St. Jean, and I believe Joe, you guys were all designing like setups and every kind of software, whatever, for the leagues, right?
I can't remember if
Okay.
we were doing.
I'm thinking it was, but
Joe and I don't remember. I mean, let's see. I think we had an open setup thing on Monday nights
right.
back in those days. Yeah, and I was messing with open setups a little bit because I had to do those for the NROS tournament. But for me, the setup thing really I didn't get good at that until Joe and I started working on them in a Saturday night racing league that we were both part of.
That's what he just said. Saturday night, late nights.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was an awesome league. We had so much fun in that.
Yeah, but you guys also didn't create the spreadsheets and stuff like that for like the points, all that stuff. Because I can't remember who was doing that, but I believe it was probably you guys. I'm sure, because I don't think the rest of us were as smart as you guys.
Honestly, I don't remember doing that stuff. I might have. I know I was on the board for a few years, and I was admin, the main admin for 1 year.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize that Steve and me and Joe and a lot of these old Ed Springer and John Gordon, we all go, and Tim St. Jean, we all go way back. I mean, almost 30 years at least. We go back to I was telling Steve, I might even be the oldest member of this league.
I think it's possible because you said you were on Hawaii.
I raced the first race. I raced the very first race of this league on Hawaii at Talladega. So I think I'm the last surviving member. I don't know how the hell that hit. Huh? What did I place?
The very first race. What did you place? You remember that?
There were only there were only like 10 of us. Maybe there might have been 10 of us.
So you got a top 10. Cool.
So 10.
I got a top 10, but I think I actually finished like 4th or 5th, something like that. I don't remember. But I know I did not win. I think Randy Hopkins won the very first race.
So since Justin Anderson wasn't in there, you did better than Justin Anderson that race, kind of like
Larry
Patrick.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that was that's a long time ago. I was telling Steve, my phone bill after that first month of racing nearly ended my relationship with my wife, because it was crazy how much money our phone bill was. And then when we were talking about 10 came on, it was like $100 a month or something like that. So it was like, yeah. We were all excited because we got to race with Dale Jr. Do you remember Dale Jr. actually? Do you guys know what Dale Jr.'s handle was back then? Anybody remember? Anybody want to guess?
Oh, wait, give me a sec because I think I remember this.
Okay, let's see if you.
It was like Rizzo DE3, I think.
Yes, exactly. Rizzo. Exactly. Rizzo DE3. Yep. I remember seeing him at one of the tracks and going, Rizzo! He was like, yeah.
It was a really interesting, like, not so well kept secret, but Junior was amazing. He would actually come on and hang out in the lobby and talk to people just like he was one of the guys. And then he'd go jump in a race, and all of a sudden you'd see the race instantly fill up. And
Yeah, that's true. He actually ran a league that I was in. Maybe me and Tommy Arrington and Rich Davis. Rich Davis was actually our car owner, and me and Tommy were his drivers. And Junior ran that league with us. I can't remember what it was now. It was.
was
I
that
wish I could remember.
DMP?
No, when DMP, it was prior to DMP. I
Then,
cannot remember what it was, but we actually would qualify on Sunday night and then race on Monday night.
oh wow, that's
Yeah,
like
it was
the old
interesting.
days with VRW.
It might have been that.
Well, VRW that was NASCAR 2003.
Yeah, it was on 10. I remember that. We did it on 10.
No, this wasn't 10, so I don't know what that league was.
God, what was that? I thought it was on 10. Maybe it wasn't. I've lost, but yeah, we used to. It was a league, and God, what was that guy's name? I cannot remember the admin guy that did this, but we actually had to pay to get into the league and race, and we had a cutoff of I think 32 drivers or something like that. But yeah, but Junior was one of the drivers, and I remember I'll never forget it that he the very last race of the season, he was running for a championship, and he got up to sixth. And as he got to sixth, he wrecked and took out the whole entire field. It was the funniest damn thing, except for the 5 guys in front of him. But yeah, what?
Yeah, and if I know Junior, he was very apologetic.
Yeah, he was. It was super apologetic, but yeah, he wasn't when I wrecked him one time, and he got kind of mad at me.
That I haven't seen. I remember doing a early in the days of iRacing, doing a SK modified race with him at Martinsville, and we banged wheels going around one of the turns, and it was more of a racing deal. But he keyed up immediately and apologized, and I just thought that was so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, you meet a lot of neat people in iRacing, that's for sure. I know you almost beat Kyle Busch there, Adam.
yeah, that's my only claim to fame to see really anybody on there was almost beating him, and lap cars decided to choose Kyle Busch's lane at Talladega over mine. So yeah, and then
Gee, I wonder why.
and then
Are you sure that he wasn't letting Brexton use his account?
I don't know, maybe I don't know. He qualified on the pole. I qualified third, and I pushed him the whole entire race. And then coming off of turn 4, I decided to make my move. There, I had like 2 or 3 lap cars behind me, and I was hoping they would swing out and go with me, and they did not. So I ended up like on his rear quarter panel as we were going across the line. And then apparently a lot of people really didn't like him after the race and destroyed his car after he finished the race. But
Great.
You should have raced under the pseudonym Chase Elliott or something like that.
I tried to key up on it, trying to see if he would talk, and he wouldn't say anything. Try to do good race. Hey, thanks for I pushed you all the way. Congrats, man. Trying to do something to see if he would say anything, but he never said anything.
Yeah,
I guess he didn't want to pull a Kyle Larson or anything and say something wrong in a public lobby.
You stupid idiots! You bunch of rednecks. What? Yeah.
Okay, I got 2 kind of humorous, interesting stories for you guys.
All right.
These go back to the questions about my history and how I got involved in racing in 10. So let's start off with this.
I had to look around. I got a thing in the way, so. Okay,
Racing.
yeah, the wing, the wing car, the 1970 wing car.
Yeah, you notice anything unusual about it?
There's no back wing to it.
There's no wing.
Well, yeah.
And in the paint scheme, the color's wrong. It should be
Exactly.
blue. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay, when I built this thing, I was about 13 years old. I got it for a birthday present from a friend. I love building model cars, but I always did street cars. And I thought racing cars looked stupid. Who wants to make a car and then deface it with all these stupid numbers and stickers and stuff like that. So I finally decided to build it. I didn't know who Richard Petty was. And I thought, well, this car would look nicer in yellow. So I made it in yellow, and I had it displayed in my room. And we had a family friend. I lived in Richmond, Virginia at the time. We had a family friend who was big into racing, and he used to go to Southside Speedway religiously, like every Friday night. And I think it was Fridays that they ran. And so he saw the car, and he just teased me relentlessly. And I, being the obnoxious 13-year-old, was teasing him back like, racing is stupid. It's just a bunch of cars going in circles. Why would I want to go to something like that? And he finally convinced me to go out to Southside Speedway. And within like the first 15 minutes, I was hooked. And
Why didn't you change the color to Petty Blue after that?
The stickers were already on it. So you got your teammate Kevin Pearson. He wrote saying that you now have to go to race that color yellow for the rest of the year.
Oh God.
That could be your Darlington like throwback scheme at some point.
Yeah, really, yeah.
The scary thing about that is Kevin's our team painter, and he just forced me to drive something like that. Kevin, don't you dare do that.
He said he's going to paint it. Don't worry.
So, okay, tell us the story Nerf, though. I want to know where Nerf came from.
Okay, well, Nerf came from, I used to hang out, before I started racing with you guys, I used to hang out in a chat room on America Online, and it was called NASCAR Race Fans, which the initials are NRF. And I made a lot of nice friends on there. And so when I started racing on 10, I needed to make an ID, and so I thought I'll make a tribute to our AOL room and call it NRF-91 because I wanted to race with 91 for my number. So that's where it came from. And then as I started racing online and people started cracking jokes about like, well, what does NRF stand for? Are you going to nerf us into the wall? So then I was like, all right, I'll get those guys back, and I made Nerf my sponsor.
Right, so I never knew that. I thought you used to just play with like Nerf balls or something all the time or something.
Well, I did do that. I have a Nerf football in my closet still.
That's funny.
Oh,
yeah, you've stuck with that paint scheme. I mean, that's the same basic paint scheme you've had since the 90s.
Yep.
So
same black base with pink, blue, and yellow colors somewhere on the car.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
That's branding right there. That's pretty impressive.
Except for road courses, he runs just a solid black paint scheme because Nerf doesn't support him.
That's right.
Oh, I tell you what, as a 30-something-year-old man, we still play with Nerf guns at my work, or at least my previous work. I worked with Larry for a while, and in our main room, everybody had at least 1 to 3 Nerf guns in your actual desk, depending on them. We had Nerf bow and arrows. We had, the automatic Nerf rifles, the ones with the balls. Every version of Nerf you had, we had it in our office. We had a roll-up filing cabinet that we gutted, and it became our Nerf closet, and there was like 15 guns in there. So throughout the day, just at one point, somebody's like, just yells go, and everybody just reaches for a gun and hides. So
that's awesome.
Your tax dollars at work, guys.
Great.
We were playing war games.
Hey, at least you didn't leave them over in Afghanistan.
Yes, we did not do that. We left them in our office. Larry, but see, Larry wasn't in our office. Larry would come in, and then we all just go get him, and we just attack Larry. So Larry would have to run and try to scrounge somebody's weapon and try to find and start firing back. Yeah, Larry would just walk into some chaos, and it was awesome.
Poor Larry.
Yeah.
There's always somebody that gets picked on in any team, and I'm pretty much the one on
Yeah, so we
SHR.
we were like the the higher level guys in our office, and he was a little bit lower guy over in his office. So when we came in, I'm like, "Yep, let's pick on Larry."
And it's Nick for CCR
Yeah.
and
I was gonna say,
GFM,
it's
honestly.
Nick. Yeah, it's Nick.
Yeah.
And I think I'm probably the one on our team. So,
What team?
The
well,
rejects.
the rejects.
Sorry.
We're the rejects now. It's our own team now.
I would say
Yeah.
Mr. MIA.
Yeah, Mr. MIA. He hasn't shown up for any races, so it's
Okay.
basically just me and Ross and
I reached out
Derek.
to him. He said he's got he just went to Bristol and he has a renewed sense of energy to be back on iRacing. And we tried to get in the same lobby yesterday at Vegas. He was one stint ahead of me though, so we didn't get to race. But yeah, he's back on the sim. He's back racing. So he says he's going to try and come on to Vegas on Sunday.
Who was this?
Marshall.
Marshall
okay,
Hall.
good.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marshall, I saw on my Facebook email that today's his birthday. So happy birthday, Marshall.
Yep, it is his birthday. Yep. If he's listening, happy birthday.
He doesn't pay attention to Ghost Fire Media. That's cool.
No.
I don't think he does much of internet of anything of sorts. So,
Okay,
You
so-
would think he would.
So all right, so I got one other historical story. This is
Okay, go
how I got involved in racing online. I had I'd gone out and bought NASCAR Racing 2. I was very excited to have gotten it. After NASCAR Racing 1, which Randy, you probably remember racing that. That was on Hawaii, right?
Yeah, we had NASCAR 1, and then we went to 1999 or something like that. I can't remember. But
It
yeah, it was 1. There's nothing before it.
NASCAR 1, I actually built my own steering wheel because they weren't in the retail stores at the time, and it was
Wow.
it wasn't very good, but it worked. But anyway, if you remember NASCAR 1, Talladega had the tri-oval was such a kink that you actually couldn't go through there side by side. It was crazy. Okay, so anyway, so I bought NASCAR 2. For about a week I raced against the AI using a joystick, and then I think I went out and found this Thrustmaster NASCAR Pro steering wheel, and that was really fun. And I was having a lot of fun just racing AI. And I think at some point, me and Justin, maybe even in NASCAR 1, Justin Anderson and I used to race each other over modem. So because I've known him quite a while. And anyway, so I'm sitting here one day, and my best friend finds the box for NASCAR 2, and he's going through it, seeing what's in there, and it's coupon for Total Entertainment Network. And he's like, it gave you 10 free hours. And I forget what the cost was after that, but first of all, I thought, I'll never use 10 free hours. And secondly, he kept twisting my arm, but I was like, why would I want to do that? Because it's going to be humans, and humans are not going to race as well as AI cars. So it would just be stupid. So I signed up, and I think I must have used like 8 of my 10 hours the first night.
I mean, to be fair, you are right. Humans do race worse than AI cars in many cases. So.
Well, it kind of depends on like what percentage you dial the AI cars up to, I guess. Because I signed on to 10, and of course, when you first sign on to a service, you're not in a league. You just go in the lobbies and you're doing pickup races. And I'd get into a pickup race, and I'd be like, "How are people going so fast? The AI cars didn't go this fast."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've done that before many times, especially whenever I started like racing, on Xbox and Forza. And it's like, okay, we have online lobbies now. Awesome, let's go and race to see what these guys can do. I'm like, screw this crap, man. How do you guys do this fast? Like, I was beating the crap out of the AI. Like,
That's right.
Where'd you guys come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I remember those days too. It's like I'd get bored. You race the AI, you win all the time. It's like, you set it at like 97%, and you go around. I won. Okay, I'm good enough to go race a line. You get a line. It's like, damn, I'm like 14th fastest. What the hell? How, these are the 14 guys, these 13 guys ahead of me are going way faster than I'm ever gonna go. Yep. Those are the days, man.
Oh yeah. So then I was in a pickup Talladega race, and this guy named Kevin Dietz, who I didn't know, had really enjoyed racing with me, and I was still really green at that point, and was probably being over aggressive, but it must have been one of my races where I kept my nose clean, and he's like, "Oh, you got to come join my league," and I thought, all right, well, leagues are going to be stupid because it's just going to be a cliquish thing, and I think I'll just keep doing pickup races. And he twisted my arm pretty heavily, and I was like,
Yeah.
I might as well try it out.
Kevin's one of those gullible guys that keeps get you on the hook, and they can just sell you anything, man.
He definitely, yeah, he did great with me. And then, of course, I came in and started racing with these guys. And first of all, this league couldn't have been a better thing for me to have fallen into at the time, because that's when I had just become disabled and needed some kind of distraction. And it wasn't only the quality of the racing that was good, but it was the people were very supportive of each other, and put emphasis on friendship. And I feel like I've made a lot of friends in this league, and I learned my racecraft and everything. So this league is amazing.
And you continue to make friends, because look at you, you found another Steve.
That's right. Yeah, but you went and changed your name, so
I didn't change the name; it's still there. I just don't use it. It's like
Okay.
it's like dead to me, but it's like it's over there. It's like, hey, go away.
I guess I'm going to start calling myself Michael.
Yeah. I was going to go somewhere with you talking about having all their friends and stuff and Dietz and everything. But yeah, we've all made some really good friends out of this league. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's amazing this league is actually still around after all these years. I mean, who is a guy? We had a guy that was in a wheelchair. Now, he was one of the first guys I knew that ran with a controller. Who was that? Do you remember?
Oh,
Somebody out there you have to remember. He was at one of the Southern get-togethers one year, and I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Mike Coons, Mike Coons, I think it was. He was one of those guys that was really, really good, and then we find out he's in a wheelchair and racing with a controller, kind of like our last guest. And I was like, what? He's kicking our ass, running with a controller. But yeah, he was really good. He was another one that I'm surprised we haven't seen him come back, but I don't know whatever happened to him. So, and what was the other one? Dave Traeger.
Yeah, I wish he'd come back.
Yeah, I wish he would too. He was really good. I remember him. He came to Florida after they ran 10, had that big network championship, and they ran it here in Daytona Beach. And he did really well in that. His biggest memory of that, believe it or not, is Krispy Kreme donuts. The guy would not shut up about Krispy Kreme donuts. He ran like for $10,000 in this big championship that NASCAR supported. And all you can talk about, man, we went every day to Krispy Kreme to get the donuts. It's like, what?
I didn't know that one.
Oh, yeah. He was like big about the Krispy Kreme donuts. We talked about it. He goes, why don't you bring me some of those up here? Because, I live down here. So that's funny, man. There's a lot of guys throughout the years that, I miss a lot of those guys. We talked about Tony Kelly last night. I've tried to talk Tony into coming over here, but he won't. Him and Taz as well. But neither one of them will come back over. So,
is that a financial thing or what?
It might be. Yeah, I don't know. I've never asked them. I don't think it would be with Taz, but I don't know about Tony. But I have no idea. I just wish they would come over here and race with us. I'd love to run with them, run with some more of the old guys, and we'd have a legends race.
That would be fun.
Although sometimes it feels like a legends race in the back of the pack.
So let's get into the wonderful racing that we have going on right now. So the last week we went to Bristol. So Steve, what's your thoughts on the wonderful Bristol race that we had last weekend?
I was so glad when it was over. I felt like me and Joe had been practicing on Saturday nights and felt like we were both really ready for that. And I screwed up my qualifying. And then both of us didn't qualify as well as I thought we would. And then it was just, I heard you guys talking about it being one groove. It was extremely hard to pass there. And you kind of started off on the bottom and then quickly moved up to the top. And for me, I spent a lot of time trying to save my tires. And even though I did a better job saving tires,
You just couldn't use them.
I didn't. That's right. I didn't use them. Well, when I tried to, I wasn't that good at it.
No, what I'm saying is, like you try to save your tires, you back the corner entries off, and you're trying to save it because you're hoping for that long green flag run. But then it's like, okay, well, I have this fresh tires. What can it give me? And then it's like, oh, can't pass. So
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It was a frustrating race for me. I just didn't. It's the first time in a while that I felt pretty incompetent. So it wasn't. I'm just glad I made it to the next round.
Yeah, I've always loved Bristol, and I like the rhythm of that track, the way it brings it, and I was happy to go to it, and I did really well. Like momentum was on my side. I felt really great. I started off second, and then Hanner had a little mishap on the very first lap and hit the apron and kind of got himself around there, and I got to lead a handful of laps to start off with, and I just stayed up front all night. So good pitch strategies throughout the night. Everything kind of finally fell my way for once in a cup race. So I was happy to end that round pretty good, and I think we overall, though, the league did a really good race. Good job on last Sunday night in Bristol and put on a heck of a show for everybody. I think there was, difficult to pass, but, there was still passing happening.
Yeah, definitely. And you did an outstanding job at that one.
Yeah, I know I was nowhere close to being a winning car. I think Blake and Justin were outmatched me, and then the other Justin, the other teammate, Rooster, he came up on me pretty quick near the end. I think probably another 5 laps, I think he would have had me, and I think Andrew Burgess was behind him. He had a really good night as well, finishing in 5th, and he had a lot fresher tires there, and I was able to drive through the field.
Yeah, it seemed like, if you had 20 lap fresher tires, you could definitely pass guys. And that's what, Blake always seems, Blake is an awesome driver and I love racing with him. But man, things always seem to fall his way.
So once we came in, we all pitted, and he stayed out because he was the race leader. So we dove in right out, late to make sure that we throw him off guard there, and we all pitted, and I was hoping for a long green flag run. I mean, the sad part about it though is he was still hanging right there with Justin in second. I think, or no, Justin got by him. I think it was Teddy that was running second with him, door to door with him for like 5-10 laps. And I'm just riding behind them. I'm like, oh, I'm letting them burn up their tires. I'm going to save mine. So whenever they finally do go green or they finally do separate, I'll be able to hopefully have enough tires saved up and blow by them. And we get a caution. I was like, crap. And then it was like, we all debated, should we go in? And because I know Blake's going to go in this time, should we go in? And we're like, no, let's all stay out and trap them behind us, and maybe we'll have a difficult time and burn the stuff up going through the field. Nope, typical Blake faction. He just said, bloop, 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 and drove right through the field.
So I just wanted to say one thing because Steve, you said something about things always seem to go Blake's way, and I had said something very similar just a half hour ago about things always seeming to go Brandon Bernhardt's way in the TNT series. And, I was sitting here thinking about it, and I think what it comes down to is for people like Blake, for people like Brandon in the TNT series, for people like Justin Anderson, when they get a good break, they are good enough to take advantage of it. And I've seen it happen with Blake over and over and over. He has a bad break, he recovers to a decent finish, but if he has a good break, he takes advantage of it. There are other guys you'll see that will get that good break occasionally, and they aren't able to take advantage of it. They'll honestly, I hate picking on him again, but I look back to I think it was Concord in TNT series. Nick leading the race and like all of the other guys that were up in the lead had like wrecked out. Like, I wrecked ZD and Brandon Bernhardt spun out. Like they were all in the back and he spun his tires. Like it's about having that skill level and that confidence to take advantage of it. And we've seen that over and over with Blake. And
I mean, you have to look at what happened though. Like Blake went in, Andrew went in, Brandon Bernhardt all went in. They all got 4 fresh tires. They all came out within each other. Blake ran through the field, and Andrew barely caught me with, like, he was knocking on the backside of Justin's door, and Justin was knocking on mine with, like, 2 to go. So that's, how much, Blake was able to take advantage of the tires, the fresh ones, whereas Andrew took a little bit longer to come to the field.
You guys talk about Blake with the tires and stuff and always having things go his way. I recall earlier this season, the IVRL, Blake taking off and spinning his tires in front of the whole field, taking the whole field out. So it has happened to him.
Oh,
so
yeah. I mean, I calling the cup and calling the trucks. I mean, I've seen Blake make mistakes. I mean, I think everybody's. It's like you every once in a while see like a little chink in the armor.
I saw it that night. Trust me. I know Adam did too. I believe he was involved. Everybody was involved in that wreck.
We just had Adolf Hitler, Nazi, KKK, 666 write some weird messages on YouTube. So don't ignore that. Okay, just ignore those.
Oh God.
Well, now I'm
Adolf Hitler.
Oh, welcome to the show.
Nazi KKK 666.
Wow.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for praise Jesus.
Appreciate it, bud.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
We got
by the way, we'll be at the Trump rally later on, dude.
Yeah, we got Dave Traeger. He's out there in the comments now.
No.
Yeah.
Traeger?
Yeah, he's like, thanks for the kind words, Joe Densmore. But he first just came out of nowhere. He just says, I'm not sure what I'm seeing, but I'm digging it.
Hey, come on down. We're going to have some Krispy Kreme donuts.
That's right. Hey, maybe we could bribe him to come back with those.
Yeah, maybe so. They're still in the same place, open the same building. Haven't changed it since he left here. Trust me. Same people waiting in line to get in.
You got to get overnight them hot and fresh.
Yeah, hot and fresh.
Carl, that was a great point you made about Blake. Because I know there's been times when things have fallen in my lap, and if I'd been in that same situation, I don't think I'd been as aggressive enough to have made it all the way back to the front the way that Blake did.
And honestly, you see it throughout the field with the Endeavor drivers, with the exception of John Gordon. Sorry, John. But I seriously think they just like sit around just giving each other pep talks like the entire week. I don't think they work. They just hey, you can do it, man. You can do it. And because they always have so much confidence, it drives me crazy.
I do have to say though, I did beat Blake. I almost beat him for the first season championship last year, and I did beat him for the second one. But he had enough points to win the overall. But last year, everything just worked out a lot better for me with iRacing and the way the cars drove. Just hasn't been as good this year.
Blake said he spends most of the week trash talking branding. I guess you got to build them. You got to break them down to build them back up.
Yeah.
Remember when Steve, you were racing on iRacing. I remember when I quit and I wasn't racing at all, but I was still following what like you guys were all doing in the group and stuff. And I was like, man, I want to go iRacing because I see Steve winning all these races and doing all this stuff. So you were like one of the inspirations for me to actually come back into this whole thing. So,
oh wow, I'm honored, and I'm glad you came back.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, even though it's frustrating as hell, it's because I can't run worth a crap anymore.
So
Yeah, but what do they say? Those who can't broadcast.
Yeah, exactly.
that's why I'm
In
up
some
here
way-
most of the time.
In
Yeah,
some ways,
exactly.
I'm ragging on myself too because, as you guys probably know, I broadcast on Tuesdays with my friend Guy L. Brooks, who will be racing with us on Sundays. I think starting this week.
And I believe I'm going to be racing with you guys, or racing for the races you guys are broadcasting on Tuesday nights. So just signed up for this today. I still got to pay my entry fee, but I'll be doing that with you guys.
At least
You
you'll know how
come
to
to the
pronounce
race.
his name.
Yeah, I'm be racing with the IndyCar series. So
Oh my
yeah,
God, that's awesome!
yeah.
It's pronounced Henderson.
Thank you.
No,
Because
no,
I'll
no,
tell
you got it wrong. It's Hot Carl.
Don't
Yeah,
don't
Carl.
Hot Carl Henderson.
please let's not let that get out of
Yes,
this group.
that it's gonna bleed into other leagues, man. You can't
There-
keep this bottled into the GFM world.
There's a reason I never share these videos.
Oh man, so I'm looking forward to this weekend at Vegas. I think we're gonna have our hands full with this car. I mean, we were doing some drafting last night, and I mean, even just racing my own teammates, we were all putting ourselves in some precarious situations last night, trying to get some good tire runs. And I mean, these cars draft up. Sadly, you can't finish the run, but you're able to suck up and push the guy in front of them and make these runs. You just can't capitalize them. I think the new Gen 6 cars, they're able to finish the run off more than the current ones are.
Yeah,
But,
new cars have the cars that we have now. They have that bubble.
Yeah. So the next gen, we're going to be able to, once we get these heck of a runs, we're going to be able to actually push past that bubble and then pull out and take over that run. Whereas this one is, if you don't pull out in time, you're just like, oh boy, I just gave you all my momentum. Thanks, dude. Have a great day. But but no, I'm really looking forward to it. After first 3 laps of IVRL, I was like, this is the most exciting racing I've had in a while. Practice by yourself, it doesn't seem like it's going to be. It feels like you're just wide open throttle like a super speedway. But once you get in that draft and around other people, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I did notice that you can definitely push. It's hard to pass if you're one-on-one, especially because the person on the outside generally has a lot more momentum coming off the turns. But I did notice that whoever gets somebody pushing from behind has a huge advantage. So draft is going to play a big role,
Yeah.
and tire wear is going to play a big role also.
Yeah, I got put in 3 wide on Tuesday night, and nobody went with me in the middle, so they put me. I was a monkey in the middle, and everybody split me and left me by there. I was able to side draft good enough to stay there for 3 laps, but finally the inside line prevailed and got by me, and but I still got him though. But
How'd you finish?
So first stage, I was managing tire wear to see what I would do and how all that would play out. I got 8th in the first stage. The second stage, I crossed the line P4 by a nose. It was a heck of a battle.
That was a good bout. That was a good race.
That was when I was 3 wide for 3 laps straight. We had 3 or 4 lap shootout, and for 2 or 3 of those laps, I was put 3 wide, and we were just going door to door around the track. And then going in 4, I really didn't let it lift that hard when we got into the guy on the outside, and we made contact twice, separated, and then Charles split the middle, and I beat him to the line by a nose for 4th, and then I finished the race basically 4th as well. I lost the lead pack because I trying a little bit different pit strategy, which didn't work out, and I was about 9 seconds back from the top 3. So once you get out of the draft, there's no hope to catching anybody else unless you have a good draft partner with you.
I remember you saying that last night. I didn't even think about 3 wide at that place.
It's very doable. Like we went there, and I'm in the middle, and the car was stable, and we were able to do that, and that was at the end of the run. So we had we had 2 cautions in there, but still on fresh tires or no older tires, about 30 laps in. So we were definitely pushing it on the boundaries of what you should do on older tires out there.
Well, it should definitely be fun. I felt pretty comfortable last night, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Adam.
I'm saying I'm looking forward tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to Carlo up there. Trying to keep this cool from all this action. He's going to be able to actually get to have fun and call tomorrow night.
Yeah,
You mean Sunday night?
Sunday night. Tomorrow night he's not gonna do it. He's not doing anything. Tomorrow night he's drinking.
You don't know what I do on Saturday nights.
What do you
It
do
is
on
drink-
Saturday nights?
It's drinking.
Yeah, that's what I thought. See, it's pretty obvious. I mean, come on, you're in Columbia, South Carolina. What does everybody do? They drink.
Hey, sometimes we also tip cows.
We go mushrooming.
He's going to be watching those Clemsons win.
Careful.
Yeah, wait a minute. He's in Cocktown.
So
I am in Cocktown. Ed Springer needs to shut his mouth.
So Ed was so upset you did not make it the other night whenever he was on the podcast. He wore his Clemson shirt for you, man. He was so upset.
Well, I do want to point out that we got our butts beat by Georgia last week, but we did score more points on Georgia than Clemson did. So I mean that's pretty big deal in my book.
Who are you a fan of?
I'm South Carolina Gamecocks.
He likes the Cox.
Okay.
I love the Cox.
Yeah, actually, they have shirts up there that say "I love Cox."
Dude, when I drove through that area going between Fayetteville, North Carolina to Augusta, Georgia, and everybody's plastered all over their cars, everything about Cox. I was just like, all right, cool. This is a really weird town. Just keep on driving through.
There's a place in the mall. I love going there because they've got all the Gamecock stuff in there. Plus, they have a lot of other cool shirts in there. What is that place? You know what I'm talking about? It's in the mall.
And like the one out near the hotel you stayed at this last time.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Columbia Mall.
Columbiana.
Columbiana.
Yeah, that's I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the place though. Yeah.
I love that store. Those people are super nice. I always go in there every time I'm in Columbia and just say hi to them. They always remember me because of the hair. But but yeah, I always buy stuff from them. I support your local town.
Well, I appreciate that.
Hey, so we usually go around the horn here and pick somebody for the winner for this coming Sunday night race. And Steve,
do we want to go ahead and do all 3 series since we haven't?
Care about? Okay, let's do. Okay, we'll do all 3. Yeah.
So this coming week we have the TNT season. It's all super speedways. So we'll go with TNT. We're going to Talladega as well next week. I think. Actually, who's running now? I don't know who's running now.
I'm gonna run that one.
I'm gonna go with Randy then. Randy's gonna go out there and surprise us. We're gonna get a shocker.
I'm gonna have Nick push me if Nick's gonna run.
As far as I know, Nick is running, and are we just going around with TNT first and we're just going to go back around?
Yeah.
Nick is actually my pick. I was already planning that. Nick's good. Nick's not good at very many tracks,
but he's
good at super speedways. I don't know what it is, but he can see the air. Like,
that's what he said. Now,
so.
Yeah, but he learned. Pat had to scold him on that how the air actually worked. So.
Well, I mean,
not what he thought it was.
So yeah, I'm going with Nick Adams.
Okay, Nick. I'm gonna. I'm gonna go with Brandon.
And let's see. I have not paid any attention to TNT at all.
You can pick anybody as Talladega. Like anybody has a shot to win there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to double up on Randy.
Oh, yeah,
look at that. Randy, yay! Hopefully I can go drive the car to do something for a change. Hey, look, I'm Leatherface.
Try not to feel the pressure.
I thought I was Carl. I like Cox.
Yeah,
That's a,
Oh, I was going all that way, but okay. But all right, Wednesday we're gonna be at iRacing Super Speedway. So, like I said, it's all 3 series are gonna be at super speedways. I went first last time, so I'm gonna let Steve go first this time, and we'll be a sportsman in the truck series.
Let's see. I think I'm going to pick Joe Dinsmore for that one.
All right, Randy.
I'm going with Hanner.
yeah. That's that. So that's if Hannah runs. I think that's
Yeah,
a solid pick.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if
Well,
Hanner
I think
doesn't
he's
run.
in the playoffs, so he should run.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't run for some odd reason, I'm going with Dan Shirley.
Oh, wait. I thought we were talking about sportsmen.
Yeah,
We
sportsman.
are sportsmen. Yeah.
Hanner's not in the playoffs.
Okay.
In sportsmen.
I thought you
Dan
said
Shirley.
Bassini,
Dan,
sorry.
okay, then I'll go Dan Shirley.
Yeah, so I'm right along the lines with your original pick because Hanner and Passini have been telling me how much they run. They run together on a super speedway only league on Friday nights, and they're so good, but they haven't had a win yet in our league. So they're either going to prove me right one of these days, or I'm going to fire them from my team. So I'm picking Passini at iRacing Super Speedway.
I can't put it past Justin Anderson. Last time we were at Talladega that I know of, or at least it was last year, I pushed Kevin Haas there, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it again. So I'm going to go with Justin Anderson.
I mean, you can't.
I can't pick myself, so that's why I'm doing that. Just FYI.
You can.
No,
you can. Sure.
I don't pick myself for these things. I would though, but I'm not.
I would, but I'm not going to. I was going to pick myself too, but I'm not going to.
And then so Cup race this Sunday, we're going to be at Vegas. So I went last time, so I'll go first this time. Vegas is going to be a different breed. I think you're going to have to be cutthroat to do it, and I think Blake is going to be able to continue on with this hot streak and continue on and get another win.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. I honestly I want to pick Hanner, but I think Hanner's gonna be so conservative because he wants to make sure he gets to the next round. So he's gonna go out and try to have an uneventful night. So I'm picking Justin Anderson. He's gonna be going for those bonus points.
I'm agreeing with Adam. I'm saying Blake.
Okay, and I'm going to be a little bit different. First of all, thank you guys for the people that have been picking me to win races along the way this year.
I picked you a few times.
Yeah, I just sorry to disappoint you guys. I don't even see it happening between now unless I get lucky with this current package. Either I'm better with the high downforce, but for some reason this build is just all the builds this year, but especially the first two, just not working as well for me as last year. But let's see. I'm going to go with Greg Wellen, and if Greg doesn't show up, then Justin Anderson.
Two solid picks right there. Greg Wellen
Yeah.
is a master of saving tires.
Yes, he
but
is.
He's also fast as hell while he's doing it. He reminds me of another guy named Greg Holt. That man is.
Yeah.
He puts on blistering pace like Dover. Horrible on your tires.
Well, and it's funny with Greg Wellen because I think it was like one of his first races in the Cup Series, maybe his first. I think it was at Homestead, and he came out like the first run before tires and just burned through his tires. And I was on the radio and I was like on the call and I was like, he's not very good at saving tires. And then he came back on the second run and he was so much better, and he's been good in every race since then.
Yep, I remember that. I remember that really well because I passed him on that first run, and I thought, well, he's really fast on new tires, but not so good on a long run. And then next thing I know, we get near the end of the race, and he drives by me, and I can't keep up with him.
It's annoying.
And we did, yes, and we did talk about it after, and he spent the whole race trying to figure out how to be fast and save tires, and he did.
Well, I want to ask you, Steve, real fast, just because you brought that up, him being your teammate, and is it more frustrating getting beat by a teammate, or is it more frustrating getting beat by someone from another team?
That's a really good question. Probably a little bit more frustrating when it's a teammate, but
It's me too.
yeah.
I'm actually the opposite. I'm always happy when any of my teammates win. I'm always happy.
Oh,
when
I'm happy
I'm
when
happy.
they win.
I'm happy, but I still there's a lot more of a competitiveness with like me and Josh, me and Chris. Like I want to beat those guys so badly. Yeah.
That's wild.
I'm on a new team now, and I'm just soaking everything up and trying to learn and trying to be able to work and trying to grow my skills. So yeah, I'm getting beat left and right, but I think I'm packing a punch on every couple races here there. So I'm kind of trying to hold my own.
Yeah, you and half the league.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, I have to say that first of all, we've added more aliens to the league this year with Hanner and Wellen.
Pacini.
Pacini.
Yeah.
Teddy looks like he's coming out of nowhere
Carmody.
too.
Yeah.
He's there. Carmody.
Yep.
He's been picking up a lot of speed, and that to me that was frustrating. So me being an AOL for this is my second year, trying to be at that top tier and be in that conversation for the top 5 and maybe top 10, every single week. And this guy comes out, he already gets his first win after a handful of races. I'm like, screw this guy, man.
Well, hey, try being in TNT where it seems like every season the best driver quits, and then it's like, oh, this is finally my season, and then someone else joins. So keeps happening.
But it's a combination of really good people joining the league, plus a lot of people who were here last year have really stepped it up. I mean, look at Joe Dinsmore, for example. He's improved a lot between last year and this year. He's a threat to win almost everywhere we go now.
Yeah,
so the competition is unbelievable.
I mean, Brandon Bernhard is almost unrecognizable from where he was last year. I mean, he is so good compared to what he was doing. I mean, honestly, when he rejoined TNT this season, I had forgotten that I had ever raced with him in TNT last year because, to be honest, he wasn't one of the front runners. He was kind of forgettable. I mean, he was just kind of a mid-pack guy like me. And
I don't say that. He doesn't like that. I said that on a broadcast.
Yeah, you said that on the broadcast. I remember that.
He messaged me.
I didn't remember it either. Yeah, Adam said it, and I said I didn't remember him either. I was like, he was in this league with these guys before. What the hell?
Brendan didn't like me saying that.
But he's really good now. The improvement's been insane.
Yeah,
it's been fun to watch across the league, seeing because I've been in the league now for over a year, and just in that 1 year period, just seeing the people improve it's been incredible.
Yeah, and like you said though, we're letting in too many aliens. We need more mid pack guys. We need more people to run with everybody else. We don't need more people running at the front.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
So if you have a class D or less, please join our league.
Let's get it class D through B. Let's yeah. We don't want any more rookies in. So.
Oh well. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. It is 10:26.
Your clock is 3 minutes off, man. You said that earlier. It's 10:29.
10:28.
It's 10:28 for me.
10:28. My clock on my TV is wrong.
Yeah, 10:28.
Because remember, I still use a TV for a monitor.
Oh,
that's why I suck so bad.
Mine says 9 something, so I'm way off. So you guys have a good one.
Yeah. All right. So 10:28. It's the 24th of September.
So
do you remember
25th episode?
We could spend the next 2 minutes talking about what time it is.
Yeah, exactly. We could, but we're not going to.
We're
going to get out of here.
We were back away a few more time zones.
Yeah, definitely. So,
hey, can we talk more about the time?
So this one time, I flew from the Philippines back to Hawaii, and I was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in the Philippines eating the most delicious burger in my whole entire life. And then I flew back into Hawaii, and it was 1 o'clock on the exact same day, the exact same time, but I was in Hawaii.
Hey,
Time
Adam,
travel, baby.
Adam, can you stop it? Can you stop being rude and let Randy finish, please?
No.
Well, this one time at band camp,
I love that line.
I did too. I use it a lot. I actually did to a little kid. He was like, he was a little 8-year-old kid. He used to go, this one time I go, at band camp? Every time he said it.
He probably had no clue what he's talking about.
Oh, he had no clue, but he was.
Yeah.
He's going to be
he got so
repeating that
pissed at
line.
me.
He's going to be repeating that line.
He got so pissed at me. He's like, stop it! Stop it! I never went to band camp.
All right, hey, Randy, can you just let us go now, man? Go ahead.
This
and
is,
I'm going to.
ridiculous.
I know this time thing is getting freaking stupid.
Let me just end this by giving a shout out to my team, my teammates, you guys, and even our new guys too, Adam and Johnny. You guys really make this fun, and it's one of the main reasons I like to show up every Sunday night.
Well, that's what they say in my group too about me. I'm like the guy that keeps them calm. I don't know why, but maybe it's because I
that
just
soothing
suck.
voice.
Yes, that soothing voice. All right, so let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I know,
all right?
Steve. Stop interrupting him. God.
Steve, you've already talked about your team. We don't care anymore. We're going on. We're getting the hell out of here. I got stuff to do. All right. All right. So,
Yeah, okay.
from all of us here at Ghostfire Media, we'd like to thank you for watching the show tonight. It's been a great show. I'd like to thank both our guests, Steve and Shane, for stopping by and saying hi
And
tonight.
Harvey.
And Harvey. That's right. Harvey was in the middle of us. I forgot Harvey. It's
Thank you
easy
for
to
having
forget
me.
Harvey.
Harvey
Doesn't matter.
sandwich.
Yeah, Harvey. It's easy to forget Harvey. So, so anyways, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again next week. Don't forget, we got racing coming up Sunday night. AOLL Cup Division from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, home of the South Point Casino. And we'll see you then. So until next time, guys, have a great one. So long from my house and their house too. So bye.
And his house.
And his house.
Have a good night.
About time.
Seriously.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.